All right. Well, thank you, and welcome to another episode of Shardpoint Academy. Before we get rolling proper, I want to thank a special group of individuals. I actually have a number of fans who help me plan episodes, including Lana Seawolf, Rose C. Malo, Cosmic Young, Aline, Exterius, and Jade. They sort of helped me do a little bit of brainstorming on the side, and I just want to make a little shout out to them all for helping me out in these episodes. And with that being said, let's proceed to introducing our guests and getting on with the show for today. So, welcome to Shardpoint Academy. I am Michael Schiciano, or Skitch, and I'll be playing as your headmaster and GM, or White, and all the other shenanigans that will be had. And we have a couple of actually almost all familiar faces here.
It's the old school episode. We're all vets.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're vets in different ways. We're all vets in playing D&D, but we have one person who I think is going to be new for being on air for the Dice Funk crew. So let's just go ahead and cycle through.
I'm also just an amateur vet, so if you're having problems with like your hedgehog or your hamster or something like that, hit me up.
It's bad for its tummy. You shouldn't give it milk and bread. They're both very bad for hedgehogs.
Yeah, precisely.
So with those voices, I think we can roll around. So as usual, we have Austin Yorski and Johnny Maloney. Though Johnny is playing his standard character of Scoops. Austin, you're playing as someone else today, aren't you?
Yeah, do I talk about her now, or you just want to talk about me and Johnny, the boys who are back in town?
I mean, either way, listen, it's all good either way. So
Johnny's the handsome one. I'm the other guy. He's playing the reporter, and I'm playing a new character. Her name's Sephora. Yes, like the makeup store, but that's not the reference. She is an aasimar, which sounds like ass, so it's very funny. But it actually means she has a celestial heritage somewhere in her family. Someone banged something from the afterlife, and so she has some cool powers. She is the zoology teacher at Shardpoint. In other words, her syllabus says cool snouts and where to peep 'em. And she tells people about those snouts. And she's a druid, level 4. Gonna turn into animals and gonna try to behave myself around the weasel this time. I had to get a whole blank slate character and start again to just flush it out of my system and make some new jokes.
Well, okay, if you want to take bets on how long it takes for Austin's character to be derailed, now's the time when you start placing those bets. But we also have across the pond 2 other players joining us. Go ahead and introduce yourselves and your characters.
I'll start and introduce myself. You might have heard my voice on other Dice Funk properties before. My name's Laura, and I'm on seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Dice Funk. Today I'm going to be playing a hill dwarf tempest cleric called Torgwyn, who, hey, all the gods died. And they're a cleric. Where their powers come from when there's no gods, that's a bit of a mystery. They're a bit curious about. Their running theory right now, the wind knows. The wind knows. So that's going to be a thing. And I'm here with Jane, who's never been on a Dice Funk.
No, I'm mainly just known for harassing Austin in the credits.
Yeah, you keep coming up with tentacle puns in the credits for Austin that make him go,
I'm not reading that.
I pawned them off on Lauren now. I'm like, oh god, this is too spicy for me.
I'm Jane Magnet. I will be playing Toow. That's Toow Bifor. And I am just a tiny little rock gnome with fuchsia hair who is very bad at engineering and really just wants to play music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I saw on your character description yet fuchsia hair as a specific thing, which is, fantastic.
Hearing you say it, the pun really didn't hit the way it did when I read it on your sheet, and I immediately wanted to throw myself out a window.
I feel like Jane's way of doing puns is she likes to make them so understated that like a week from now they punch you around the face.
Right.
What? When I did that D&D campaign and made you spend a month looking for a banhammer called Modratar.
Well, fantastic. So, my opening question to you all before we get going is, are there any properties you want to promote before we get going with the session proper?
Sorry, hold on a second here. Laura, I didn't hear about what character you were playing, I don't think.
The hill dwarf, the tempest cleric.
The wind? Where's the wind? It comes from? It comes from the wind.
Right. Oh, man. Jeez. Sorry.
Yeah, no, pay attention.
I've been feeling poorly the past couple of days. My brain is in my back pocket.
I tell you about my character and you just don't care. It's fine. I get it. Your established character's more important. Yeah.
Johnny just got off his shift at the concussion factory.
Oh, jeez.
Him and Chris both work there.
Just stuff that Chris will forget. Anyways, is there anything you want to sort of like promote or shout out to before we get rolling with the episode proper?
Books.
I want to promote a thing. I've got a book coming out.
Oh,
it's
you do?
It's called Uncomfortable Labels, and it's probably already out by the time you hear this. July 18th is its release date, which is probably in the past. It's a book about being trans and on the autism spectrum and how those overlap with each other really commonly, but no one talks about it, and there's a lot of interesting things there. So go check that out, because I made a whole book, and that's a lot.
Seems like so much work.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know why would I do
Couldn't
that?
it have just been a vlog? That's what all the kids are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Could it have just been a tweet?
Yeah, just use tweet longer
Wrap it all up in a TikTok video.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe with a nice backing tune.
Yeah.
Where am I? Patreon.com/StonesMonkeyRadio. I stream and write stuff in a very weird style.
Making
at
a text.
StoneMonkeyRadio.blog.
Yeah, you're making a text adventure at the moment.
I am making a text adventure at the moment for my Patreon. So
Oh, fantastic.
yeah, people need more 1981 style.
I was going to
text
say,
adventures, right?
like, that just takes me back to Infocom games and stuff like that, so great.
Zork.
Yes.
It's never going to be Zork, but
Nope. That what can be. So,
If you want to support Johnny, the Concussion Factory is looking for new employees. Just really get in there.
I'm looking for brain cell donations, particularly. Mine's not working, so pan.
And everyone should know by now, patreon.com/Austin Yorski. That's the show you're listening to. Dice Funk. That's the one I do. If somehow you don't know about that and you're hearing this, congratulations on your life. It sounds pretty cool.
I would like to promote that I make very good sandwiches. So if you have a chance to have me make you a sandwich, take me up on that.
that sounds delicious. As for me, are you still butchering my Bandcamp page on the Patreon thing?
Skitch.bandcamp.skitch.bandcamp.com/skitch.
Skitch.bandcamp.com/bandcamp.skitch. I mean, that's the proper labeling there. But
The links are in the descriptions for everything we're saying. So if it sounds like gibberish, that's fine. You can just click on stuff.
right, just click in the doobly doo, and there'll be stuff there to support us properly there. So
And later I will be tweeting a picture of me making a sandwich.
fantastic.
He really will.
All right, so to set the stage here, just like pretty much any other scenario in Shardpoint, we open at Shardpoint Academy itself. It's a day like most others in which some bizarre thing is probably happening on campus. And the main thing that we're going to open on is the fact that the Bardic College is just very busy with a lot of things going on. Both you, Scoops, and you two are aware of what's going on. Basically, the entire college is preparing for a party that's going to happen this upcoming weekend. It is a centennial anniversary of the of the college having been open, so they're just preparing things for a weekend-long party.
So something for the society pages.
Something like that, yes. And everything's really busy because the vast majority of the school is either auditioning to perform at the party or overseeing the auditions that are being done for the party. The two of you are not involved for different reasons, obviously. One, because Scoop's more likely not because of, well, you got your paper, you got the paper to work on.
I insist on the neutrality of the press.
But I think what we want to do is I want to open up on and ask the question, what is Toow doing at the moment to sort of start things off? What are you in a particular class? Are you hanging out with someone in particular? What's going on?
I'm lurking around at the back of Professor Raven's class, basically trying to pick up anything I can as far as new techniques, anything I can do. I'm not really supposed to be there. I'm sort of just hiding at the back, trying not to be noticed too much. The pink hair's probably not the best way to do that, but I'm just lurking.
So Professor Raven, you said. Who's Professor Raven?
Professor Raven Sabbath teaches Pilus alloy management.
It's hair metal.
It is hair metal, yeah.
That's very good. Yes. How so? Oh, geez, Raven. Okay, so I would view them as.
I really wish my facial expression would have been captured because it was doing a lot of the work there. I'm sorry, I forgot we were on a podcast. I was really doing face acting.
Yeah. Yep. So, the lecture is going by as expected. It is shockingly calm and reserved, despite the fact that Professor Raven I'd say they look like a tattooed, burned out rock star who is mostly doing this because they just wanted a stable job and possibly for the healthcare that comes with it. And things are going by smoothly for the most part. And there's a moment, actually, if you want to, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me, if you can.
What's your stealth?
It's a +2.
+2. 18.
So yeah, despite your hair being quite vibrant, there's a variety of hairstyles in the class. So Fuchsia, while a bit off, it's not that far off. There are some that have just very bright red hair and other sort of tones going on. But this is definitely a class that you shouldn't be in, but you're able to sort of keep a low enough profile that you're able to sit through the lecture component, which slips between performance chops and straight up metallurgy, which is a little weird, but listen, sometimes you gotta diversify the class there. As you're sitting in class, though, there is a point where what appears to be sort of like a small hatch opens up on the desk that you're at, and out pops, of all things, a weasel with a nice little fancy vest and a pocket square. And it quietly just gets on the desk, looks up at you two, and then reaches around, pulls out a little scroll, sets it on the desk, and then just sort of like darts back off into where it came from. And the hatch closes as soon as it leaves the desk.
You keep saying you too, and every time I'm like, wait, who else? This is not a bit. I genuinely kept doing it 3 times now.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna get better before it gets worse.
Yeah.
That was a very fancy weasel.
Mm-hmm. It was a very fancy weasel.
I'm going to sort of poke the message and then open it.
If you open it, it will say, it will be addressed to Toow Bifor, and it's basically saying that you are requested to visit the headmaster's office promptly for a situation of the utmost importance, and it is signed by Orin Waite, headmaster.
Oh, bloody hell. I think they found out about the fire in the student bar. Okay, I'm going to head there.
All right. In the meantime, let's roll ourselves over to what Sephora might be doing at this time. You're teaching zoology, right?
Yeah, it's Jackalope Day in zoology. Look at its powerful haunches. Actually, I should do a character voice. Listen up, y'all. Look at this fucking haunches. They're wilding out. I'm a swamp druid, for the record. There's different kinds of land your druid can be attuned to, like the forest and the mountains or the coast, but I'm a swampy bitch because that's how I'm rolling.
Also, because I think you wanted to keep an accent in the wheelhouse that you are comfortable with.
This is basically basically just everyone I dated in high school. Look at his little teeth and his little horns. It's great. Now take notes because it's going to be on the test, y'all.
Is the part about the haunches got to be on the test, or the teeth got to be on the test?
Mostly haunches. I'm really want to emphasize the haunches today. They're powerful and adorable, functional yet delightful.
So how hard is it to have one as a pet?
Incredibly difficult. It's encrypted for a reason. They're very elusive. Oh, it's already gone. Oh, damn. Oh, beans. Oh, beans. I then lost the damn jackalope.
Now, is this an actual jackalope you had in the classroom?
Oh, okay, it was, but now that you've suggested that it might not be, do you think she's the kind of person who would tie horns to a rabbit and try to pass it off as a jackalope as a professor? She has a -1 intelligence, a 9 out of 20, so she's not the brightest bull, but she has a 20 wisdom, +5, as high as it can be.
And your animal handling is very good, so let's allow me to propose an offer here. Roll me an animal handling check to determine what happens here. I have an idea.
All right.
Let's see here.
That's a 12. It could have gone better, folks.
All right. So the good news is it's a real jackalope. The bad news is that after so many prodding questions about its looks, the jackalope has certainly got cagey and has jumped off the desk, and now there's a bit of a ruckus in the classroom.
All right. So should I chase this thing down, or should I just let it tear up the class? It could be an exciting look at its abilities and proclivities and so forth.
That's a good question. What are your instincts telling you as a zoology teacher?
My instincts are telling me that I don't have any spells that can help catch a jackalope because I just looked. I think I'm just gonna let it wild out, and whoever catches it gets an A. Everyone else fails. Good luck, idiots.
Let's. All right, so chaos begins to ensue in the classroom.
Chaos
I will roll
reigns.
something here. That's a 14. That's a pretty good number for chaos right there. That is more or less just indicating that was me rolling for the jackalope's ability to evade being caught. It's very evasive. Those haunches are definitely helping it at this time.
I am chaotic good. I should also say that although she has celestial heritage somewhere in her background, her family's mostly elf, so she physically looks like an elf. I'm using a druid token from a Magic the Gathering card that has a green hair. It's kind of like a what's it called, an undercut?
Yeah,
kind of green hair. So she kind of looks pretty cool as well. But she's elfier than not.
Yep. That's a good look. And yeah, we'll get a moment later. But for you, Laura, and you, Jane, feel free to describe your characters as explicitly as you're comfortable with, because fan art baiting and all that good stuff.
Sweet fan art.
So. As this chaos sort of gets a little bit more out of hand, someone does eventually catch the jackalope and kind of holds it up as a trophy, and the door opens to the classroom where an Eladrin woman enters and just sort of looks around before glancing your way. And for those who have been watching other Shardpoint episodes, this would be Meldemir Valamin. She says, Miss Sephora?
What, Mal? I'm busy. Can't you see we're in the middle of jackalope class?
I can see that, but I've been asked to substitute for you temporarily while you go to the headmaster's office. A situation has come up.
All right, no skin off my nose. The centipedes in the desk are venomous, but whatever. Bye.
But,
Nope. My last character was extremely horny for Meldemir, so I had to balance it out and be totally not interested.
That's fine. I believe that I think there is still some sensitivity training that has to happen for Sophie at some point. We'll not play on air because that would be the most tedious thing possible. But you leave Meldemir, and let's see here. I'm going to roll for her to see how well she handles the class.
And the centipedes.
This is going to be a rough time for her. I think she opens the... I rolled a 6 there, which to me tells me that Meldemir opens the wrong drawer, and now centipedes are ahoy in a room.
I just yell back, I literally just told you, Mel. What did you think was going to happen?
She was trying to get the chalk out, but, now there's other chaos. So, the last character I kind of want to tap into the moment is Torgwyn, and I have an idea of the class that you're in right now.
I also have an idea. What do you have in mind?
I think you're in the class to learn about swordplay right now, since
This is what I was thinking.
because since you're a Tempest cleric, you are proficient with martial weapons, and therefore all clerics of your sort of clade are mandated to take a semester of weapons training.
Well, yeah, but there's a specific reason why this weapons class being taught by a vibrating sword was interesting to Torgwyn.
Uh-huh.
Which is, somehow this sword can make vowel sounds without a mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not talking in Morse code, it's doing vowel sounds just by vibrating. And
Yes.
Torgwyn is a little bit fascinated by the whole idea of, the fact that the weather might have a language. So Torgwyn is there watching this vibrating sword, hand up, just waiting for an opportunity to ask a question that will probably be nothing to do with swordplay.
Possibly. And the lecture proceeds with Professor Roger, as he is called, sort of dictating out to the class. Now, as you all know, I am a longsword by design, which means I can be held with one hand or two. I generally do not recommend the latter, as honestly, the amount of extra leverage you get is offset by leaving yourself more open for attacks, and you can't fight well if you're dead.
Yeah, hand is up, waiting impatiently for a question, sort of held up by the other arm like they've been waiting a while.
It takes a little longer before the sword finally addresses. Yes, you, the dwarf there, you have a question?
Yes, I've got a question. So, how are the vowel sounds working? Because you're just a vibrating sword. Like, how do you do that?
That is a very good question that I have spent very little time thinking about in my time.
Okay, how about this one? You're a sword. That means you're essentially made of, like, ore mined from the earth. Like, at what point did you become sentient? Like, at what point does a part of the earth become a sentient thing?
Oh, usually that happens when the proper magical acts are done, or a curse is placed on someone, or some other action like that. As for my own origins, that is best left for a different lecture, I assure you.
Okay, but, like, when is that lecture? Because I'm real curious about how you work.
The way I work is I'm held by a person of appropriate skill and used to slay opponents of appropriate challenge.
I just want to know how you make vowel sounds with your vibrations, man.
The sword is sort of, I mean, if it could give a quizzical look, it would do so, but it's for the most part an inanimate object that just happens to be able to manipulate the air around it and cause sound waves that are audible by everyone around it.
I do like the idea of people in a D&D world not understanding that magic exists. That could be an entire campaign. It's just like, how are you making fire? Explain it to me. I need to know.
Yeah, like, I know that there's no actual good answer, but Torgwyn is convinced that, like, the right question will go, like, aha, and that is how I can have a conversation with the wind now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is definitely a line of thought. For things, the lecture proceeds a bit longer, and then the sword sort of pauses for a moment. It stops in mid-sentence. Its central line is like, so if you use a backhanded grip, I cannot guarantee that. One moment. You, Torgwyn.
I prefer
Right.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll leave it. It's
just the wind, okay? It's just the wind.
I know. I just didn't know you could make a D&D character that's an adaptation of the King Crimson song "I Talk to the Wind." It's just really a high concept.
Very nice. I have to dismiss class early, but I need you to pick me up and take me over to the headmaster's office. Also, you're being summoned to the headmaster's office.
Can do. As Torgwyn or Woosh stands up, I want to describe how I've been visualizing them. So they're a hill dwarf, not typically known as a particularly tall race. I like to picture that Torgwyn wears stilts and just has like a little bit of like smoke or cloud covering them up, so it looks like they're floating on clouds, but they're really just on a little bit of a small pair of wooden stilts.
How high were you two when you came up with Woosh and Toow Bifor? Be honest, people are listening. They can hear you.
Refuse to answer that question.
We live in a country where those things are illegal everywhere in the country, so of course we were stone cold sober.
Deep cleansing breath.
Obviously.
So yeah,
Makes sense. I'm convinced.
additionally, very cloud-like beard for those wonderful dwarven beards. So yeah, Torgwyn whoosh, comes over and picks up the professor and heads to the office.
Very good. So, Scoops, I'm not going to describe where you are, because I know where you are already. You want to guess where you are?
Scoops is at the newspaper office.
Oh, I have an even better place for you to be.
Oh, really?
You're already in the headmaster's office right now.
You're gonna say in the printing press.
No, I'm on the case.
Yeah, that's good.
You see, Scoops has heard a story about an animal smuggling ring,
It was me. I confess.
and he's trying to interrogate the weasel.
So we open before everyone else arrives to the headmaster's office, with Scoops looming over a weasel on top of the headmaster's desk, while Orwin, the headmaster, just sort of sits at his chair with his face in his palm for a moment and lit on an exacerbated sigh. What do you do to try to interrogate the weasel?
He's like, listen, I've seen a lot of animal droppings around the school. A lot of people are whispering in small, quiet noises around them. And these are more animal droppings than we're usually used to. So either we've got an upshift and shapeshifters going on around here, or as I suspect, there's an animal smuggling ring going on inside of Shardpoint. Have you seen anything, Weasel?
Let me just see if I can roll a check for... Let's see. What type of... are you trying to shake information out of him?
It's not an intimidating thing. Like, at this point in time, I'd like to believe that Scoops and the Weasel have kind of like a mutual respect for each other.
Can I just say, I would listen to a radio show by Scoops and the Weasel.
It's like a morning zoo show.
That sounds actually like a really great detective show, Scoops and the Weasel.
Mm-hmm. I would say go ahead and roll a persuasion check to see if you can convince JJJ to convey something to you.
Okay, so that's a D20 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 11.
JJJ responds by doing a war dance with your face. It's just sort of like reaches up and pats your face, runs away on the other side of the desk, runs up and just taps at you again and runs back and forth. You don't know.
Scoops grumbles. That's not a no. And scribbles in his notebook.
I have definitely imagined, as someone who's owned a ferret before, this war dance ends with him toppling off the table because they're dumb as hell when they're doing it and they don't watch where they're going.
That's a good possibility. But as this happens, the rest of you are able to arrive, and as you all approach the door, it sort of opens by itself to invite the three of you in.
Scoops wheels around, sees Roger, and goes, "Hey, Raj, looking sharp."
Oh, joy, he's here.
Sue's just got her head down and she's sort of nervously tapping the tools in her tool belt.
You needed me. I heard it on the wind.
Oh,
So is this a disciplinary hearing for these two people who are obviously high?
no, it's not a disciplinary hearing for any of you. Well, technically, that's not true. Allow me to...
Do you need me here, Mr. Wade? I mean, I was in the middle of a story.
Yes, I need you to help me with something, Scoops. So,
Scoops licks his finger and flips to like a new page of the notebook.
I have been inundated with a couple of main issues to deal with, and one of them involves the Bardic College. Please, the rest of you, feel free to have a seat.
Because of the stilts, Woosh is going to have a bit of a difficult time sitting down because stilts don't bend at the knee.
It's a long way down.
Yeah.
Laura, how tall are these stilts? Like, are we talking like, do they add like a foot or like just an extra couple of inches?
I'm thinking they add a good foot or so. Like
Okay.
the implication is that Woosh is trying to give the impression that like, oh, I'm floating on clouds. It's rather magical, and then now it's just okay. Fine, I'm taking the stilts on.
If while we do this, feel free to describe how your characters look. If you wanted a little extra chance for that for Toow and for Sephora.
Oh, Swamp Witch. I'm a Swamp Witch. That's what's up. In fact, I have Frostbite as a cantrip, and I think when he says take a seat, I just like, what's his name? Mr. Freeze. Like, Mr. Freeze myself up a little stool on the ground. Psh, ice blast, and then just sit on it.
Sue's going to just pull herself up onto the nearest seat that's about her size. She's sort of sitting there in her, like, really grubby dungarees or overalls, wearing giant, slightly over-large boots, really.
And, of course, the headmaster is a gnome himself, so there's actually a good handful of chairs that are properly sized for gnomes and halflings and the such in the room.
Well, Scoops is already at home in this office.
Yes. It's one of those things where, like, you're chummy enough where you can just be in the office, but there's still a little bit of, like, the exasperated look on Oren's face sometimes when you get into, like, full Scoops mode. 2 Scoops mode, you know.
It's like that relationship where, you know, when Scoops wanders into the ante room to the office, he just like tips his hat at the secretary who will like protest and be like, no, the headmaster's busy, and he's like, hey, he's gonna be in a second, and just like walks right in. Like it's that kind of relationship.
So the Bard College is planning for their big centennial party, and there's an item they want me to help acquire for them. And for whatever reason, I have no idea where the item is at all.
Have you tried a party planning store?
Unfortunately, it's an item, a particular item that they didn't tell me exactly where it is, and they haven't told me exactly what it's called, but they've given me an acronym and a location, but I can't seem to figure out where it is, despite my, well, he points over to the tome of location, my resources here. It's not listed in here in my index, so I am at a loss.
I've got an option for you. Why not go back to them and ask them to be clearer? This sounds like a very unhelpful situation if they want you to do something for them.
They use this item once every 100 years, and then they forget about it, it seems. This is unfortunately not the first time, apparently.
No one thought to write it down and go, okay, in 100 years from now, here is the actual name and location of the thing that we need.
If I was in charge, that's how things would have done. But unfortunately, this is what's been handed to me.
In fairness, I've been to some of these archives looking for leads on stories, and I gotta tell you, the handwriting 100 years ago, awful. Just the straight bum ticket.
Right. We're gonna have to talk about that because there might be some information I need to make sure that you don't publish in the next op-ed.
What? Stop dipping in my Kool-Aid, Chief.
I don't think Kool-Aid's been invented yet, but I catch I catch what you're saying there. Regardless, I was planning on doing this with Scoops helping me out, but unfortunately, in the meantime, I've been given a notice from one of the other departments. Apparently, we have a possible academic dishonesty situation. Someone might have been cheating on one of their examinations.
Scoops' eyes widen like dinner plates, and he starts furiously scribbling in his notebook.
I will erase that from your notebook because you can't let the information out. It's a violation of privacy policies here.
Am I the only teacher in the room?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I look suspiciously.
Well, no. Also, the sword is the teacher.
Okay, I meant yeah. Okay, but I'm saying I look at the other party members suspiciously.
It's not anyone in this room. It's somebody in the illusion branch of the wizardry school. A graduate student is standing accused of cheating off of their own illusion of themselves.
An illusion student tricking people? What a Clyde.
And I am being called in to discern the truth as well as I can of the situation.
That's a noble pursuit, boss.
It's a legal requirement of the position, but sure, we can call it noble. As for the rest of you, the only one that has any sort of quote-unquote punitive measures would be you, Toow.
Is this about the fire in the student bar?
No, but sort of jots down a note somewhere. No, it's simply complaints from your father.
What's he want now? I'm here. I'm doing the thing.
He's requesting transcripts, and when a transcript was sent to him, he was raising an issue about what your credit hours are being applied to. So I will take a look into that matter as well. But in the meantime, it would mean a lot for you to help me on this endeavor. And besides, it's helping the Bardic College, which I have a feeling might be of importance for you.
Well, anyway, in regards to Dad's question, I definitely spent most of last week in animate architecture subjugation.
As I said, I will have a moment to talk to you about that, hopefully after I deal with my obligation and you all help me with this particular job. So, here is the only information I have available about it. The item in question is referred to in some form as a PCO, and he lays out a piece of paper in front of everyone, and it's the letters PCO, and above it is just a circle that's sort of drawn. And it's just like there's no features on the circle as given. It's just a circle underneath are the letters PCO. And I've been told that its location it's stored somewhere called the Tisolk Igorots.
How is that spelt, and how is that spelt backwards?
Don't jump the gun quite yet on that.
Okay.
But that is what I've been given, and unfortunately, that is where I must depart from you all. If you have any questions, you can bring them up with either Roger, or if you wish, you can take JJJ with you as long as he doesn't get hurt. As JJJ is continuing to try to do a war dance with Scoops, and I'm going to roll real quick to determine if he indeed falls off the table. He does. He basically jolts. I rolled a 7, so he jolts out, touches Scoops on the face, runs back, and then falls off the other side of the desk onto the ground.
They're basically immune to fall damage, so
yeah, it doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hurt, but that's after that Scoops, you see JJJ scamper out from underneath the desk. In any case, I wish I could stay, but I'm getting more pings from the illusion department, so I must depart. I will see you soon. And then he does motion of his hand and basically just disappears from the room entirely as he uses a teleportation spell to relocate himself to a different department of the school.
On his way out, Scoop says, "Find the truth, Chief." Then he gets down on one knee and says to the weasel, "So what do you say, Jays? Do you want to come with us?"
The weasel, if you lean in close enough, it will just bat at your face with his paws.
Which, of course, Scoops does. But then Scoop stands up and says, "That's not a no."
All right, so with that being said, so the party's been given 2 pieces of information, and I think one of you has an idea about how to interpret one of those pieces of information.
Yeah, so Woosh is gonna grab Mr. Roger, and just go. So that backward sounding one. Is that backwards storage closet? Because I think that was storage closet backwards.
Did Laura just bust this wide open already?
No, not entirely, but but that is the first step. So Roger is just like, I haven't used a pen in any point in my existence, but that does sound feasible.
Woosh is going to put the stilts back on purely to be tall enough to properly hold the sword and not just be too small to swing it.
Just make sure you don't lose your balance while wielding about there. Do you prefer whoosh or
Whoosh. Yeah,
whoosh?
I've been trying to talk to the wind for a while recently, and that's as close to a name as I have managed to decipher. So I'm going with whoosh.
Have you tried consulting an air elemental?
I've tried, but they are, using actual words and not the sound of the wind itself, which is,
Right.
It sounds like it should be helpful. It's not.
Yeah, I think we have an Orin language class in this academy somewhere. There is a language of the wind, honey. You can just take the class.
At this point, Wish is just going to sort of stop and question why they've been hanging out with the sword teacher. Being like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I totally meant to do this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say you are correct, Laura. You've deciphered the Tiso Igarots refers to storage closet, but any of you who have spent any amount of time at the school know one thing. There's a lot of storage closets in the school, so that does not necessarily help matters. So the question is, first, how do you propose locating which storage closet is in fact the Tiso Igarots?
Walk backwards.
Well, if this is a horror campaign, I suggest we stay together.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a comedy campaign, I suggest we split up.
What was you going to say, Laura or Jane?
I suggest we just walk backwards because the word was backwards. So it's the one behind us.
Yeah, that's some. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
All right then.
Who's just
okay.
peeking over her shoulder, like, how this work?
So what Scoops is going to do is Scoops is going to try to open the nearest storage closet and just look inside.
Well, you do. We open the door. You see a wall on the other side of the door.
Then he's going to close that door. He's going to go to the next storage closet and then open that closet.
And you see a wall behind it as well.
Are they the same wall?
No.
Wow, they're storing a lot of walls in there.
I guess you never know when you might need to hold up a ceiling.
Woosh is going to go up to one of them and persist with this backwards theory by standing back to the door and trying to open it from behind their back.
You do that, and as you walk backwards into the archway for the door, you bump up against the stone wall, and you don't pass through.
Now, what if we try walking in a circle before opening the door? Because there's a circle above the PCO thing.
At this point, if any of you want to roll either investigation checks or perception checks, I can give you some more clues.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll investigation on the wall with an 8.
14.
21 perception.
Okay, and 2, if you want to go ahead with your investigation as well.
21 again.
Excellent. So, conjuration relates to magic that pertains to summoning, teleportation, translocation matters. You notice that all the storage closets have like keyholes, but none of them are locked.
Maybe we need a particular key?
Hey, Roger, you ever had to use one of these storage closets?
Well, since I lack hands, not really. So, and most of the time, I'm just left in the classroom or being used by a student or someone else in a spar or answering questions about why during such spar that someone suffered an injury that needs to be dealt with. But no, I've not been in any of these closets myself.
Maybe we should look for a member of janitorial staff? Someone around here must have prestidigitation.
Scoops is going to close his door and peer through the keyhole.
You peer through the keyhole and it doesn't, like, you don't see through the keyhole. It basically, it's almost like if you were to look in the other side of the door, the keyhole does not, like, go to the other side. So it's a one-way keyhole that doesn't seem to go all the way through.
Woosh is going to come up to the door and whisper into the keyhole. please open. And the theory for this is the circle with the PCO below it. It stands for please closet open.
It's a pretty good guess. By the way, here's a fun thought. Does anyone here know what the material component is for the spell Pass Wall?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, Google probably knows.
It's a pinch of sesame seeds.
I get it. Jokes.
Oh,
Yes. Oof. Yeah.
Open sesame.
that one went right to my liver.
Trust if you have not if you've not read over material components for a lot of spells in 5th edition, you should, because the vast majority of them are puns and jokes.
Open says who?
Says me.
Yes. Now, that's not relevant to the situation. I just thought it was a funny joke. But one of you suggested finding a member of the custodial staff. That's a great idea. Who wants to propose a member of the custodial staff you run into?
I get the impression that Scoops probably has contacts.
Sure, you can say that. Who do you know that's a member of the custodial staff?
Okay, all right. How about Sparkles? How about he calls him Sparkles?
I do like Sparkles.
A goblin nicknamed Sparkles. There we go.
All right, fantastic. So, you know where Sparkles is working, so you can find them quite easily. Sparkles is actually in a section of the school and is cleaning off basically repainting a section of the wall in one of the hallways just to kind of make it more, clean and up to date.
Don't you hate it when an NPC is introduced and you immediately know they're going to overshadow your player character? You're like, oh, Sparkles the Goblin. I guess I'm fucked.
Oh gosh, Babish in season 5 of Dice Funk is like, oh no, none of my scenes will be as good as this NPC I've made.
Yeah, you can just sense it.
This is why I like asking for people to make up the NPCs, because it, one, makes my job easier, and two, allows them to shoot their own foot with their own NPCs. So, who approaches Sparkles?
Well, seeing as how, I probably would have just had a conversation with Sparkles again about the uprise and animal droppings. I'm going to approach Sparkles again. Hey, Sparkles, what's the 411?
Oh, it's you again.
Don't be like that.
No. I'm just doing a very detailed restoration job here. Sparkles remarks as the wall that he's working on is just solid white. So there's like the one part of the wall is like bluish, and the part they're painting is white right now. It's very meticulous.
Right. Listen, I was wondering if I could drop the dime on you for a quick Q&A sesh.
Okay, I don't know if we understand that correctly, but go ahead.
The goblin turns around and sees the lot of you, and it's probably the most surprised by the notably tall dwarf. It's like, oh, you brought friends this time. What do you need this time? Listen, I've told you before, I don't know anything about animal smuggling rings or the like. I've just been working the halls.
Look, don't you worry about that. I'm making headway on that case itself, and some hot info has come my way by way of one particular weasel, if you know what I mean. Anyway, now the question I got is about school supplies.
The student shop is open from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. Every day of the week.
No, not school supplies like that. I mean, like, let's say, I needed to get some parchment for a teacher. Or, like if there was a mess, say, in the hallway that I didn't want you to clean up. And, I could just get it for you. Where would you go to get some of that stuff?
The goblin looked progressively more confused by the line of questioning from Scoops as he is there someone who wants to interject at this point out of curiosity?
Do you happen to know how to get into all these conjuration magic doors, the closets?
The storage closet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We just use these, and they motion over and pull over like a key ring that has about 300. There's about like several hundred keys on this one like long ring there. of varying different shapes. So they're like it's dispersed across several rings, but there's basically a whole bunch of key rings with a lot of keys that all look fairly similar to each other.
So any of these specifically for like backwards? Sorry, I keep slipping into almost your accent. Do you have any that work for backwards storage closets? It's the Tessol Gigarats. Is that ringing any bells?
Oh, you mean the TE closet? Yeah, I think I can handle. I think I know what that one is.
Scoops unfolds the piece of paper with the PCO in the circle and holds it in front of Sparkles' face and says, "Look, Mac, what do you know about this?"
If it's an orb, which I'm guessing it is, it might be in that closet. So,
Do you think you might do us a solid and let us check?
go ahead and roll persuasion.
Persuasion at 19.
In order to try and help this along, Woosh is going to use a gust of wind to dry Sparkle's paint on the wall faster, just to sort of speed up the drying process.
Sure. I would say in that case, just to see how well you dry, go ahead and just make a spell attack roll. Just that'd be a D20 plus 6 for you.
This is such a classic. I'm looking at my sheet and I see a spell. Wouldn't it be funny if I...
11! That's very middle of the road. Very average amount of wind.
Yep. Right. So you don't do like a perfect job of drying the paint, but you don't cause like a splatter of paint that ruins the precision work that Sparkles is doing.
I've not made it streaky or anything.
No, you have not.
Hooray for being average!
Mediocrity wins again.
The Jane Magnet story.
So the goblin nods, like, sure, right this way. Is there a reason why you're looking for this orb?
We're just trying to throw a swell humdinger, if you know what I mean.
I was saying, if it's an orb, I really hope we're walking into the lair of Marianne Williamson. That joke's not going to age well. Sorry about whenever this is released and she's already not a candidate anymore.
Fantastic. So it takes a little while, but you are led down a couple of hallways into just a more quiet section of the school, and lo and behold, you're brought up to a closet that does have the letters TE written on it, just the letters T and E. And once they reach it, the goblin takes a moment, flips through some keys and such. Takes about, let's say, about a minute to find the right key, puts it into the keyhole, turns it, and then proceeds to open the door. As they do so, the doorway opens into a dark room, basically. Like it just looks like it goes into a dark room after he uses the key on the doorway.
Marianne's lair. Get the orb. Get the orb.
Now I really want to listen to one of my old Orb albums. I just really dated myself, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes, I was really into ambient electronic music in the 90s,
Listen,
okay?
ambient house? Yo, man. Yeah.
I shouldn't
Fantastic.
lead any investigation because my stats on my sheet where it says investigation, instead of a number, it just says dumbass.
That being said,
I've got dark vision
you have
and
dark...
investigation.
Actually, I think everyone in the group has dark vision except for Scoops.
Hooray!
Yeah, but that's not going to stop Scoops.
No, but anyway, so the doorway opens and you see into there, and there's a little there's a TE written inside of the space, and some torches that are unlit inside of the area. And Sparkles just sort of notes, you'll have to apologize about the upkeep. Most of the closets have not been inventoried properly in the past few years. We'll have to spend one of the upcoming summer breaks doing an audit of everything in this place.
That's not a problem, Sparkles. You're a real swell guy. This really blows my wig.
You're wearing a wig? Never mind. I won't ask.
Woosh is going to go in first.
Yep.
Just take the charge, sword in hand.
Yep. So, yeah, you walk in.
What can they perceive?
The room is dark, but with there still being light kind of coming in through the portal that you step through. Like, if you look back, you see the archway. You can see what appears to be like a visible sort of portal that is allowing you to get in here. If you were to roll an intelligence check, I could tell you a little more.
17?
So what you're able to sort of realize is by looking back and forth, you realize that you've stepped into a pocket dimension that's been specially built for this particular closet. And from that, and from how you check the other doors, you could infer that every closet has its own dedicated pocket dimension dedicated to it.
Is this really easier than just making some closets?
This is running like eggs and coffee.
If you say that to yourself, if you say that out loud, Sparkles will respond, it takes up less space than actually building the closets. You see how many of these we have? They hold up the multiple rings of keys.
Hey, Sparkles. If this door closes behind us, is there going to be a problem us getting back out again?
I will stay in the area. I will leave the door open for the time being, but even if I close it, all that would happen is, and they sort of reach in and they motion to a little handle that's right next to the archway inside the room. This will activate the portal from the inside so you can get out.
Peachy. Thanks.
And then they sort of, they offer a wave and then proceed to go get their painting supplies, leaving the rest of you to investigate.
Two's going to poke around with a awl, just trying to see if anything's going to go off or explode near her.
It's a good thing to do. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
26.
26. Very
You've
good.
been having real good rolls tonight.
You can tell that this first room, there's nothing that indicates a trap. There's a door on the other side of the room. It's just looks to be a standard wooden door. Above it, the letters T, E are written just to indicate, it's almost like a way to verify that the door outside leads to the correct entryway. And if you were to investigate that door, you'll find that the door is not locked.
I guess we're going this way.
Go ahead. When you open the door, nothing happens because what you see in front of you are a lot of spider webs.
Well, I guess of all the places to get cleaned, the cleaning cupboard's probably the last place.
Basically, what you sort of see is a hallway that I would describe as about 5 to 6 feet, about, let's say, less than 2 meters wide, about 1.5 meters to 2 meters wide, and about, let's say, a little bit over 2 meters tall. It's a fairly narrow and cramped little hallway, but it's pretty densely packed with spider webs for some particular reason.
Woosh is going to grab Professor Robert and Professor Roger, whatever his name is, and start trying to hack through the spider webs as if it's like, cutting through the jungle undergrowth with a machete is the vision I've got in my head.
That sounds completely fine. Go ahead and make an attack roll. The sword you're wielding, the Spirit Blade, is treated as a +2 longsword for attack rolls. And so this would be +1, 2, 3, +5 for your attack roll.
18.
You hit it. Go ahead and roll damage if you're wielding it with one hand or two hands.
2 hands.
That would be 1d10 +3 damage.
13.
Very good. So that's maximum damage there. So, Roger starts to complain as you wield him about, but as you swing, the rest of you see Woosh just slice through the first several feet of these webs, and they just fall to the ground limply, quite easily.
I know that I was somewhat focused on how you were talking. I was actually paying attention to the class.
I can see that at least now. Good work. Good technique.
Thank you. Now, don't complain when I keep asking you questions about how you vibrate vowel sounds, because, it's gonna happen.
That you'll have to excuse my lack of knowledge of how I work. I am just aware that I do work.
Yeah.
I mean, humans spent thousands of years thinking their blood was full of ghosts or whatever. So I don't think.
Mine is. I tell you. I keep trying to tell you.
I cast light for the record as a cantrip, which is a thing I could do as an aasimar, so Scoops can see if it's getting dark where we're going.
Can I just say, it makes me constantly sad that as an aasimar, you don't speak in ASMR.
Yeah, that like, you know, we think we have abyssal in there, so that's not a form of ASMR, but it could be.
Everybody, I'm just gonna roll for initiative.
Oh shit!
That's a smooth 17.
ASMR D&D podcast. Oh, that'd be. We've got an idea.
The nice clattering sound of the dice rolling.
So, with light up, does someone else want to deal with some of the webs? Sephora or Toow? Either of you want to deal with the webs?
I'll slash about.
So you mess around with the owl a little bit. It doesn't have a lot of efficacy dealing with the spider webs, not because you rolled poor on damage, but because technically by the rules it is immune to piercing damage because it just sort of passes by the webs. But if you were to swirl the owl around, you could probably work away a bit of the webs.
So I'm just
in any case,
gonna make cotton candy.
the first exactly. If you're attempting to make cotton candy, I'd say follow up with a performance check to prevent not losing your owl in the webs.
Sorry, did I hear owl?
Oh.
Owl. A-W-L.
Owl? Okay, all right.
The owl, yeah.
I do like the idea she's been wielding an owl this entire time, and no one said anything.
My brain just like snapped for a second there, and I was like, did I hear wrong at the beginning?
So go ahead, Jane, roll a d20 plus 6 for me.
If you went talons first, it might be effective.
At 12.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe just the flapping wings would do enough.
I know, but because the head has like such a rotation too, it'd be like
A drill.
they could like swing those legs around back and forth.
You wield a heaven-piercing giga owl.
That is fantastic. So, with the performance check, you're able to recover and actually pull away enough of the webs to clear away to an archway that opens up into a larger little center room.
Skitch, before we proceed, can I roll investigation on these spider webs?
You may. Go ahead.
So that's a 15 right there.
Yeah. You're able to determine that these are relatively recent.
Do they look like any spider webs I might have encountered in the school, say, a couple of one-shot sessions ago?
No. Actually, they do not resemble the webs of giant spiders.
Okay.
They're a bit more fine, and that makes them a bit weaker than giant spider webs, but there's a larger density of them. So...
All right, let's get fucking stabbed. You guys want to go in there and get stabbed?
It's fight time.
Mm-hmm. You could say that. How...
I mean, animal handling. Can I animal handle to know my animals?
Sure. I'll say roll your animal handling. I'll also treat that as sort of like an animal, sort of like
to intuit
insight.
an animal's intentions is the
correct
language here. 23 for animals. I 23 animals.
I'm going to give you a little special information here. You look at the spider web, you sort of reach to feel along it. There's something very wrong about the spider web itself. It doesn't feel like spider silk.
What does it feel like?
Dog silk.
The best way to describe it, it feels like something that was meant to behave like spider silk, but it isn't actually spider silk. It feels fake.
Oh no,
in a way.
they've got an imitation spider silk farm going in here. Oh no.
Either that or we've stumbled on the supply closet for the Halloween decorations. Is there going to be a bowl of spaghetti up ahead? I'm going to put my hands in it.
Oh, there's grapes in there, or are they eyeballs?
The last thing I'll kind of point out, so there is an archway that opens up into a room that has a table in the center of it, like a desk, and it's hard to make and there's 3 other doors in the room. That's what you can see even before you step into the room proper, though. So does anyone want to move first? And if so, I'll ask for rolls from you.
I guess as the teacher, I have to be the responsible one, huh?
Sure. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Oh, I'm good at that.
You sure are.
That's the only thing I'm good at besides animals. 16.
As you look around, like, you see what looks to be a couple of like little pillars that are set up around the perimeter of the room, but right adjacent to the doorway, there seems to be a tile on the floor that is marked a little off, and it makes it look like it isn't. It looks like it's something that would act as a sort of a pressure plate more than anything else.
How do these janitors get anything done with puzzles in their work area?
Step on it, step on it, step on it.
Someone with higher intelligence do the puzzle.
No, let the person with low intelligence step on the thing and find out what it does.
Yeah. So with that, so you've been pointed out that there seems to be some sort of pressure plate right past the archway. Does anyone have a proposed way to deal with it?
I'd just pop a spanner on it, maybe.
Sure. Just throw a spanner on it, right?
Throw a spanner in there.
Sure. You throw a spanner on it. It lands, and because of you dropping it off a certain height, it is heavy enough to spring the trap. And what happens is, one of the pillars just basically like releases from the wall and falls right on top of the pressure plate area. And it seems to be rigged in a way where it can fall over and hit someone who steps on the pressure plate, but then be rigged back up for future use again.
Wow, this is about as good as one of my inventions.
It's a deterrent, right? It's not meant to be a way to stop thievery. It's just a deterrent.
Right.
A little bit.
So the
there.
pillar has completely fallen now?
Yeah, it's fallen, correct.
All right.
And it's not automatically going back up.
No, it has to be manually reset.
Okay.
See, it does work as well as one of my inventions.
So from here, can we see any of the pressure plates?
After the first one has been sort of seen and interacted with, there do not appear to be any other pressure plates that you can see that match that first one.
That match that first one?
That you can see, like based on what you've seen, you can't. In terms, what I mean, like you know what a pressure plate looks like. Nothing else that you can see looks like a pressure plate in that respect.
So there might be other things that set off those other pillars.
Maybe, but there's no way to tell from where you are.
Okay. Well, Scoops is going to very, very gently ease himself over the pillar.
Okay, you can do so. It will take a little time, but you can get over the pillar without too much trouble. Do the rest of you follow?
Because he is not that tall.
Yeah, let's follow.
Mm-hmm. So you enter into the sort of a central room of the TE storage closet. There is a desk and with a bunch of papers and a couple of books on it, and then there's 3 doorways that you can see. Above each doorway are different acronyms. The one on the left says AUS, the one in the middle says GOS, and the one on the right says PMT. In addition, as you are looking around the room, it's especially with the light that has been cast, you can see the walls look a little odd because parts of the walls look like they're moving.
I want to investigate the moving walls.
Go ahead and do so.
24.
You notice that the walls are covered in stuff that are not the walls, but in fact, small gleaming mechanical spiders.
Oh, great.
And as the light hits them, enough of them, they start moving and falling from the walls and pooling on the ground into swarms, as you see 2 swarms of such mechanical spiders appear. And as at this point, I'll need to ask everyone to roll initiatives.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's okay. The spiders rolled a 3.
15.
Oh my god.
I got 11.
I got 9.
All right, cool. With that being said, the space is not terribly large. Any of you can move enough to kind of attack, but these are swarms that you're dealing with. So that does bring a bit of an interesting rules consequence. But go ahead. we are going to start with Sephora. It is your turn, and then Woosh, your turn will be next.
It's time to druid it up, by which I mean it's crocodile time. I use my action to use my druid shape-shifting abilities, wild shape is what it's called, to turn into a big old crocodile. That's going to take my action for the turn, so I can't do anything else, but it's chomping time, fool, so you're going to get chomped.
All right. So you see the hag witch, the swamp witch, swamp hag
witch.
rather.
Swamp
witch. Swamp witch druid changed into a big old gator. Is a croc or a gator?
It's croc in the book, but it's alligator in my heart.
I mean, I would say gator in my heart too. And,
Yeah.
Just you gotta represent. So
It's mostly snout shape. I wouldn't get hung up on the details. Although I haven't eaten crocodile. Alligator's delicious.
I'm jealous.
that is. Do you move to any of the swarms in particular?
Yeah, I'm doop. I'm trying to think. Nobody else here is really martial. Yeah, I'll tank. I'll just get I'll get in the mix.
With that being said, Woosh, it is your turn.
Okay, so the swarm that isn't about to get gated, I'm going to try and get into range of that one and cast Thunder Wave.
Very good. It will be a loud noise, but that's a very good spell to use in this case. So I need to do a saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Oh no.
Oh,
They rolled a 19.
okay. So that's what, half damage? Okay, you still take half damage.
Sure.
And it's thunder damage.
Yeah, it is true. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Okay, so we roll on half. 7 halved is 3.
You notice that that damage seems very effective against
Yeah,
these.
that's what I was hoping for. So I'm guessing that's still 7 damage as opposed to 3.
It's 6 because it's 3 doubled in this case here.
Okay.
But
Well,
yes,
close enough. That is what I needed to know, and that's all. I'm good.
that's a good move in that part. Okay, moving on to 2.
I'm going to whip out a couple of spanners, spin them around my fingers, and just tap out a tune on my tool belt and offer Bardic Inspiration to Austin.
That's me.
That sounds great. You can actually do Bardic Inspiration as a bonus action, I think, right?
Yep.
So you still have an action you could use to cast a spell.
These are mechanical spiders.
Where's that?
Heat metal might be an effective response.
Yeah, heck it. I'll heat some metal.
All right, sure. Which swarm are you aiming your heat metal to?
Nearest Austin. I'm basically using the gator for cover.
So they're gonna be spicy chompers. They're gonna be jalapeno flavored.
Sure. I'll go ahead and let's see here. In this case here, I go ahead and roll the fire damage that heat metal causes for me.
4.
You cast that on the gator pile of the swarm. A few of the spiders sort of get heat up and sort of melt, and on their turn, I will roll a Constitution saving throw to see how much more the damage spreads, and we'll kind of go from there. It's a good idea. The rules for how to deal with heat metal on like construct is a little weird, because it is a manufactured object. So I'm playing with this, and it should work pretty well. And he is definitely going to cause a problem for them in the short term there. Excellent. Next up would be Scoops.
All right. I'm guessing that piercing damage probably doesn't work too well against these guys.
That's a pretty good guess, correct.
Yeah. So in lieu of that, I guess I'm going to have to use my sling.
Sure, you can go ahead and do that.
All right. So I'll attack the one that Sephora is attacking.
Sure, go ahead.
And that's a 13.
13 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Fantastic. So that's, what is that? 1d4 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
4.
You notice that it does not seem particularly effective either.
Great. I'm useless.
Let's see here.
Don't try to stop my feelings for being hurt. Skitch. I can take it. I'm an adult.
I'm an alligator.
Yeah, but you still might be an adult alligator.
Uh, you do have a cantrip that could possibly do some damage to them.
I do.
Can't you vicious? No, yeah, you're a bard. You can vicious mockery at the end of every turn.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Only I have. That's a different. Is it vicious
Yeah.
mockery?
No,
No, it's called cutting words, isn't it?
no. It's called listen, hear you. That's what it's called.
Oh, right.
You-
Okay.
you-
Sorry.
You,
Then
you,
I-
you,
yeah.
Your
I renamed it.
Yeah, listen, hear you is what is written on this character sheet. All right. So with that being said, if we proceed to the spider's turn, spiders A are going to attempt to attack the gator. You already have your stat sheet up for your gator there, Austin?
Sure do, buddy.
Fantastic. Okay, they're going to try to bite you.
Armor class 12.
As a swarm, they roll 7 and fail to do so, but they sort of like start trying to cover the gator. And at the same time, I'm going to roll a Constitution saving throw on their part. That botches. Go ahead and re-roll the fire damage too for them.
2d8.
That's what I call crocodile rock.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make any sense. Why am I talking?
Crocodile done deed.
Yep.
9.
Cool. They take 9 damage. And Austin, roll me a Constitution saving throw as you start getting covered in hot spiders.
Oh. Hot spiders always get you going. 7. I fail. I'm really warmed.
Yeah, you will also take 9 damage as well as a gator.
All right, I have 19 health points. I don't know what happened there. I glitched.
But as a cold-blooded animal, you are probably also like, that kind of hurts in a good way.
They do enjoy a worm.
What's nice about Wild Shape is that it does not dip into your own hit point pool, I believe, correct?
Yeah, once they beat my alligator up, if any damage goes over, it'll carry over to my other form. But yeah, it's like a full extra health bar I get.
Yeah, so very cool. All right, the second set of spiders are going to attempt to attack Woosh because they were assaulted in that respect. Woosh, does 19 hit your armor class?
Probably. Yeah, that hits my AC.
That is 8 damage as a bunch of spiders start nipping at you.
Oh no.
Oh no! It's only 8 out of how many hit points for the dwarf?
Nearly 40.
Oh boy.
Fortunately, you have 2 tankish characters in the class in the group right now, so that resolves. And after that's done, it's gator time.
It's gator time.
Mm-hmm.
13.
Great. You hit him.
All
chomp.
right. So you're automatically grappled, and you take 6 damage.
That damage does get reduced down to 3, but they are grappled, even though they're a swarm.
Mm-hmm. Escape DC is 12.
Got it. Fantastic. Cool. And anything else you're doing in your turn?
Nah, get chomped, fool. I'm
Cool.
done.
Woosh, it is your turn.
Thunder wave.
Thunder wave.
Doing it again. Give you another constitution.
Cool. Constitution saving throw. They roll a 2. They're going to take...
That's more like what I was hoping for.
They're going to take some double damage right now.
Yeah, come on.
That's D28.
That's T28. Let's try that again.
It might still be... You might roll more damage than what you rolled there. You rolled 21. Let's see what 2d8 gives you.
6, which is double to 12, not quite 21.
Not quite 21, but they do. They're hurting. That scatters a bunch of them, and now there's a lot fewer spiders to deal with. 2. It is your turn. You can use your bonus action, I believe, to re-inflict the damage of heat metal.
Yeah, I'm going to keep the heat on and make sure everyone gets to enjoy his warm spiders.
Go ahead, roll your 2d8.
3.
Okay, that's your bonus action. What do you do for your main action?
I've got a concentration spell on, so...
Yeah, but you might not want to use pyrotechnics right now. I'd say you could also cast Cure Wounds on the gator to heal it from the burns that you gave it.
If that's not going to break my concentration, then sure.
Nope. You'd break your concentration if you cast Detect Magic, but not Cure Wounds.
Cool. Okay, let's cure some wounds.
Please help. I'm so delicious when crispy.
And then you've been topped with spicy spiders.
Yep. Cool.
All right,
So
almost back to full.
Yep. So yeah. So Sephora, like, 2 may have caused a little bit of a burn, but they walk over. They're able to tap you up to near full health. Very
Playing
nice.
drums on the scales on the gator's back.
sounds about right. Johnny, it is your rather Scoops. It is your turn.
I'm gonna listen here, you.
Okay, so you're gonna use vicious mockery. That means the target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
If it fails, it is berated by your quick words, takes a certain amount of damage, and then it has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
They basically have to beat your spell save DC.
Yep. So, which one are you targeting? The ones on the gator or the ones harassing the dwarf?
Right. Okay. Then I'll get on Woosh's side here and
Sure.
go
Go ahead.
5.
All right. So, let's see here. They have a -2 to wisdom, so they're not very smart here. They're not very wise, and they rolled a 5. So that would be a 1d4. So, what do you say to these spiders to get them to
I love when robots can be damaged by psychological trauma. That's my favorite kind of robot.
Absolutely. I'm gonna point my finger at them and say, "Listen, you 8-legged little freaks, get off of my friend. Because if anybody in this room dies, I'm probably gonna get a failing grade, and I just can't have that."
Oh, that's very biting. Go ahead and roll a d4 for your damage there.
Also, tell them we can tell that silk's counterfeit. It sucks. We know it's fake.
I botched again.
It's okay. You still did damage, and you gave him disadvantage on the next attack roll. A win. Now it rolls over to Spider's A turn, and I got some bad news for you, Austin.
Me?
Yeah, they're immune to being grappled.
Oh, that makes sense. They're a swarm. I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
Don't worry. I was waiting until the right moment. So they're going to try to bite at you. They roll an 11, which I assume doesn't hit you.
Correct. 12 on the DC, huh?
Yeah. So
AC.
And then they're going to try a Constitution saving throw to avoid taking more damage from. Nope. Roll a 2d8 too. They botched their Constitution saving throw to avoid being burned for the last time. It's like they're like popcorn kernels or like firecrackers. Like as one blows up, the next one gets set aflame.
Hot buttered spider corn.
That's right, spider corn. Oh,
Crunchy.
If I didn't already have an episode name for this, hot butter spider corn is a pretty good one. Jane, go ahead and roll your 2d8 damage.
9.
Fantastic. The rest of them pop off, and since there was only 4 hit points left, I'm going to say the remaining 5 are thrown onto the gator.
Oh.
As they go off. But hey, you helped kill them off. You got a little ping there, but it won't last. Spider bees are going to try to attack the dwarf. They're going to try to attack Woosh, and with their 7, they fail to Woosh. So
that is Wooshless.
And actually, you know what? I'm going to roll them again because they have disadvantage. They rolled a 7. They rolled a 7 and 14 because they have disadvantage. They rolled a 7, so they failed to hit the dwarf, and it's back over to the gator.
Gator time.
Gator time. You got a bunch of
20.
Excellent. That does hit the spider swarm. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I love damage. I can't grapple them though, so they're just kind of spilling out of my mouth, all messy like.
That's true.
9.
That rolls down to 4, so they're almost done.
Austin,
which brings us to Woosh.
Quick question, Austin. Can you grapple them with your tummy by having swallowed them?
I'm trying.
You can attempt.
Is your tummy a grapple?
This is my brand new grapple hold. It's called digestion.
I'd say there's only a few left, Woosh. So you may not want to burn another thunder wave on this.
I wasn't planning to. If there's only a few left, I'm gonna get Professor Raj back out and just try and take a nice big swing at them.
Go for it. Go for your swing there.
21.
You hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. That's gonna be a D10 plus 3.
7.
You crush the remaining spiders, and you see a bunch of little carcasses of metal spiders about the room. And combat is over.
Scoops immediately explains, "Look, I'm sorry. I'm a writer, not a fighter."
I can't talk from now on because I'm an alligator for 4 hours, and I refuse to change back.
It's super okay. We killed the things. You're a writer. What's with all these letters, and how do they relate to that other 3-letter code that we got that had the circle above it? Because words, that's you.
That's a great thing. We also have two very good investigators in this party. So
yeah, Scoops is gonna waddle over to the desk and investigate the papers and whatnot.
sure. Toow, do you want to? I think you want to do that as well.
Always.
Yeah,
Plus
fantastic.
Oh, finally! I rolled something good. 23.
And a 16 from me.
Fantastic. The two of you investigate the desk, and you find a bunch of papers, and you then find a book that is basically a record of things being checked in and out of these respective rooms. For the room label,
Are the records dated?
yes, they are dated.
But they're single.
I'm gonna go back 100 years ago.
Unfortunately, the book you have does not go that far back. It only goes back about 10 years. But there's still information you can infer, which I am going to gladly impart.
Enlighten me.
All right. The room labeled AUS. There's an interesting thing about it. There are notes about things being checked into the room, but never anything being checked out. And every item that's checked in, begins with the letter S, and then so there's an SOFB, SOI, SODM, SOFD. So there's just they all begin with SO.
Ooh, soft.
I don't know if soft is actually one of the acronyms in that set there.
I thought you said SOFT.
Oh, SO no. I thought it was no FD.
Ah, solved.
Yeah. So
That's almost as good as how I like my pillows.
On the theme of words being spelt backwards, is there SELGAE in there? Because
No.
this room sounds a lot like Hotel California by the Eagles.
I get it.
That's a good reference, but that's not the correct inference.
No, we're not checking anything you want in, but you can never leave.
Sure, that's a great reference, but that's
No.
not the correct
Okay,
inference from it.
fine.
What about the other doors?
I feel very dumb right now, so references are all I have.
Every item.
Laura, you've yet to forget information that was imparted to you only like 30 seconds ago. So I still think that I have the championship right now for dumbest thing to be said in this episode.
That's fine. If I never learn the thing in the first place, I can't forget it.
Listen, good references are not bad guesses. They may be incorrect, but they're not bad. So, anyways, the GOS, everything in there, the only thing that's distinctive is that all of the items checked in have the letter O in the acronym. All of them have the letter O, usually at the end. And then if you look at the PMT room, the acronyms are a little bit harder to suss out. But one of the things I can point out is, at the very least, based on those investigation checks, the one thing I'll point out is that the first one, what magic items begin with the letter that begin with a word that starts with the letter S, and then a word starts with the letter O, like something
Socks.
like a something of blank.
Sword, sack,
What
shoe,
else? Mm-hmm.
staff,
Think of something that's a one-time use magic item.
scroll.
Yeah, there you go. So inferring from that, you get to one point where you get to look at one of the items, and there's an order.
Starfish.
No. It's like there's an order that says items to be placed in TE hyphen any unwanted scrolls.
Oh, that's the garbage chute.
Yep, that is the room where basically any scrolls that people do not want anymore are just stowed away in.
So
And
like
that's-
the scroll of soft pillows.
Mm-hmm. That'd be the oh juice. the scroll of Featherfall - for head use only.
Yeah. Although I can't imagine why, nobody would want that. All right. What about this middle door again, where everything's got O in it?
Yeah, that sounds like the one we need in the that initial acronym we had was PCO.
It's good. So what do you think the O in GOS stands for?
Of?
Well, what type of object are you looking for?
Orb.
Ah, yes. So you are inferring correctly there. So does anyone want to try to mess with the door that has GOS on it?
I'm in the corner as an alligator, just doing that hiss that alligators do, and I have 2 hours. Correction, not 4. It's half, not your druid level. So for 2 hours, I will be hissing in the corner.
I'll give it a poke.
Go ahead and does anyone want to investigate that door?
Yeah.
All right. Let's investigate.
Go ahead.
7. God, I'm back to my bullshit.
21.
2. Very nice. Very nice there too. With your 21, you're able to determine that the door is not trapped, but it is locked.
Should we head back and see if we can get a key for this?
That's a possibility, but someone in this group actually has a solution to get past that door.
Aha!
Yes,
I can cast knock.
that is correct. You can cast a knock.
Shall we?
You could go ahead. I can't stop you from casting the spell.
Well, I'm asking the party here because,
Do the thing.
this is a commune.
Do the thing that you have that does the thing.
Let's do the thing!
All right. You cast the spell knock on the door. Luckily for you, the door is not magically locked. The only downside, of course, is that knock, like Thunderwave, makes a very loud noise when it's cast.
Well, Scoops doesn't live a quiet life.
It's a loud knock, audible from as far away as 300 feet, so about 100 meters, a little bit short of that, and emanates from the target object. But you do so, and the door is unlocked, and it swings open as you do so.
At the sound of that loud noise, Scoops kind of flinches and then turns around in that kind of comedic horror movie way and looks at the door behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Does he see anything?
You're talking about the door that you just came through earlier?
Yes.
Oh, no, there's nothing there.
Okay. Then he wipes his brow in a cartoony kind of way, turns around to the door, and looks forward.
Okay. Who else is going to go into that door?
Woosh rushes forward.
Cool. Woosh goes in. I take it 2 goes in as well.
Always.
In a gust.
Uh-huh. And everyone there. Okay, so the only one that's left behind is the gator.
I'm not actually going to be doing that like that. I'm not going to be an obstinate jerk. I was kidding.
No. I'm. Are you the last one in?
Yeah, I'm coming if I want my little leggies.
Sure, but I want you to roll a perception check first.
Uh-oh. My gator senses are tingling. 12.
All right. As you approach the door, following everyone else, you hear something weird.
Is it a Susie and the Banshees cover band?
That would be weird.
Because that would be really out of place.
I wish. No. No, but let me double check something real quick here about.
Is it something for me to snap at? That's what I want to do.
Now are you still in your gator form?
Yes, very much. If I could become even more gator, I would.
You hear something talking or some things talking, but you don't hear it coming from the door that's open. You hear it from behind the PMT door.
Prime my titties. I can't talk as an alligator, so I just make the alligator noise and just flop, 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 flop after the rest of the group.
Okay, so as the rest of the group goes into the GOS room, you see shelves lined with just various orbs of varying sizes, but not really varying shapes because they're all orbs. So they're all spherical in shape. Very different than our flat Earth that we live on. Hashtag real conspiracies.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Oh God, are the lizard people coming from the PMT door?
Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, as you look through there, like the orbs are unfortunately not labeled is the main issue though. So you see a bunch of orbs and none of which are labeled. So there's going to be another step that needs to be taken to find the orb. So who's going to try and investigate to find this orb, this PCO that you need to find?
I'll give it an investigate.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
8.
8 in the box.
I believe the feat that I just chose.
Yes. You chose a feat. What feat was that you chose?
That feat that I chose is Bountiful Luck. When an ally you can see within 30 feet of you rolls a 1 on the d20 for an attack, ability check, or a saving throw, I can use my reaction to let the ally re-roll the die.
Very nice. So...
Cheers, buddy. That's a 19.
And that's much better.
That is an improvement.
I did something for the team, even though it wasn't role-based.
Yes, so just the sheer luck of being around a halfling that just craves the truth, you're able to get a leg up. So, I will give you a hint as to what one of the letters means in there. The first letter in PCO deals with time. It's a word that deals with time, and it starts with the letter P.
Past?
It's not past, no.
All right.
But it deals with something in relation to the passage of time or something related to time as a whole. Or
present?
I'll give you a hint. The other hint is the fact that this is something that will last the entire weekend once it's started.
Party.
It's a good guess, but not quite. So that's one clue I'll give you to work with. While you're investigating, does anyone else investigate inside of the closet for the time being?
I'll throw an investigation check in there.
Sure, go ahead.
For 13.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm doing miserably.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to try and get insight on if there's any kind of organizational system, like a Dewey Decimal System equivalent going on.
That's a fantastic idea. Go ahead and roll insight.
12.
You can infer that the orb area here is sectioned off by different schools, not different schools of magic, but different organizations within the university.
So there's probably an area for Bardic College.
That is a good guess, yes. So you're able to kind of narrow down to a smaller section. This does take a bit of time. I would say about, let's say 30 minutes or so.
Perpetual?
That is one of two correct guesses for what P stands for. Yes.
One of two correct guesses?
The other one would be persistent. Because they're effectively the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. So it's a perpetual something orb. So while that investigation is going on, hey Sephora, do you do anything with respect to informing the party of the voices you heard?
I know it's the correct RPG move, but I just do think it's very funny to just be an asshole alligator.
Be the alligator you want to be.
That's fine.
Austin, if you grumbled as an alligator, though, we could have one of those, what's that, Sephora? There's something wrong?
Is little Timmy trapped down the PMT door?
I'm going to edit in a bunch of alligator noises under all of this, so for the audience, it's going to be totally incoherent. They're really aggressive.
So if you want to, we can have the rest of the party try to insight information from you.
I can comprehend languages as a spell.
Yeah, but I'm an alligator. It's not a language.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that? I'm rolling insight on what this alligator's snapping about.
So allow me to, before that, Sephora, how do you try to convey information to the rest of the party without destroying one of the shelves in this room?
So first I come in and I just start making really aggressive noises, which the audience is hearing now. And then when I finally get their attention, I think I like thrash like back in the way we came, just kind of when I hold tail and body. Just kind of generally in that direction, but not like not clear enough. Probably they needed to insight me to figure out why I'm doing a weird dance.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else trying to insight this?
Yeah, I may as well.
Go ahead.
Even though it's not going to amount to... Oh, a 21. Oh, I think that's like my second good roll this session.
All right. So we have a 12, a 21, and a 4. It's not quite enough for everyone to kind of catch on to things, what's going on. But between the group of you kind of inferring, you get a sense that there's something up, but you're not quite sure where it's up or why it's up or what is up. You know, as a concept, you know.
Or why Sephora isn't just transforming back to tell us.
Did you get some of those spiders in you?
Listen. Let her have her moment in the sunshine state, okay?
Oh no, I totally understand. Like, I recently got a character in season 6 that can transform, and I keep just being like, how long can I avoid transforming back?
Listen, the other option I thought Austin was going to go for was to go as a solar bear in reference to the minor league hockey team in Orlando. That would have been...
It's a very specific expectation.
That is a specific expectation, but I felt that sort of pun work for a polar bear would have been great.
We had season tickets to the Everblades, so you know I'm all about that swampy.
Listen, Everblades is also a very good minor league hockey team name in Florida, so...
Austin,
you get full...
Skitch, I just want to let you guys know that I did get that moment in the sunshine state joke.
Thank you. All right. Excellent. So some time is spent. Sephora,
And that was
go
an
ahead.
accidental roll. That didn't count for anything.
No worries. Sephora, go ahead and roll another perception check while you're at it.
10. I'm too busy dancing.
All right. So yeah, you're dancing around. You don't make much noise. So as you're working the space, go ahead and roll something in secret here. Ooh. Oh no. Everyone else.
Persistent celebration orb?
That's a good guess. Not correct, but a very good guess.
The persistent condiment orb, so that, you know, on the little buffet table, they don't run out of dip.
That's a really good guess too, but not.
The Bardic College does love its hot dogs.
Always run out of ketchup before the end of Sunday.
All right. Cool. So that roll was not particularly great, Sephora, but you still hear noises. In fact, everyone else roll perception checks for me real quick.
This is taking so much longer. I should have just changed back. I'm sorry.
No. This is good. This is better. Okay, you made the right choice. Okay.
21.
And
18.
because they completely the enemies just fucked up their stealth rolls. It's okay. The majority of you hear like a shelf. Like, if here's what sounds like a shelf being knocked over and crashing in the room next door. Not in the scroll room, but in the other room. Something is in the room and something knocked over and broke. And it doesn't sound like it just fell off a shelf. It sounded like someone knocked over a shelf in the room next door.
Should we perhaps close the door that we just... I mean, we would be trapping ourselves, but...
Woosh is just gonna sprint that toward the noise.
Mm-hmm. You go to the you go in, and if you approach the PMT door, you hear that the noises are on the other side of that door.
Open the door.
You can't.
Where's the door?
The door's locked.
You gotta knock.
So the door's locked, but it is a wooden door. So
Can I just hit it with the hilt of the sword, try and knock through it?
you can, or you can cast Shatter on it.
Fine, I'll use a big girl spell slot.
You have 3 of them.
Yeah.
Persistent cranberry orb? I mean, maybe there's turkey?
That's a tasty, but not correct guess.
What's the door's constitution?
That's a good guess. I'm gonna roll it real quick here. D20 -5, -10 rather. It rolled a 7 on its Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I'm gonna do big damage on it then. Okay.
Cool.
Catering.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait! I gotta roll again because it's It had disadvantage. It rolled a natural 20 on one of its rolls, but it failed the save. So roll your 3d8 damage on it.
16.
So, is anyone else outside in the main room when this happens?
Nah, I'm still in the orb room.
Okay, what about you two?
I'm still in the orb room, proposing champagne as the option.
I mean, I was gonna follow. Yeah, I follow.
Okay, so you see the door like explode into a bunch of wooden pieces, and on the other side, you see a group of small flying imps in the room.
Sky raisins.
Yes.
You here for our party control orb?
Now, it's a good guess. But the damage was 16. I'm going to do a real quick check here. Let's see here. There are 4 of them in the room there. So let's see here.
Persistent cum orb.
Persistent cruditates.
Okay. So
Construct?
it's not a bad guess, but right now there's another situation going on.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just.
So the door explodes.
There's a fight, and I'm doing a crossword puzzle.
And what happens is that the imps on the other side are able to dodge out of the way before getting hit by the splinters of the door, but they are caught off guard, and initiative is rolled for everyone. So let's go ahead and just take care of this.
Hit me, daddy.
And yeah, and lastly we have Woosh at 3. Okay, so first turn, Johnny's turn comes up and passes because he's surprised. Imps have a turn. The 4 of them kind of fly out of the room and begin to try to respond to the situation of the door being blown open and them being caught with, their scheme at play. So they fly out, and one of them...
Persistent crime orb.
That's a pretty good guess.
Okay.
And once all the 4 of them fly out of the room, all 4 of them turn invisible.
Oh, bastards. Also, persistent crime orb is another name for Lauren. She would tell you.
That's a good guess there. All right, Gator, it is your turn. You did see all of them kind of move out into the room and then turn invisible, so you know where they last were.
All right,
if you wish to try to.
Yeah, I wish to leap and snap at them as if they were a caribou on the banks of my river.
Yeah, so you can attack at one of them with disadvantage.
All right, with disadvantage. Also, I know caribou don't live in the same... That's crocodiles. 16.
You hit one of them, so go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. That's 9 damage, and they're automatically grappled.
Yeah, so you snatch one out of the air. It looks really wounded. That thing took a hit.
Death roll.
And to the rest of us, it just looks like the gator is smiling.
Well, no, everyone else sees it, because once it takes the damage, the invisibility sort of removes because it can't concentrate on what happened there.
You're just ruining the images in my head, Skitch.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really hurt. It's like very bloody, and it's cursing in Infernal, which if anyone speaks Infernal, that's what it's
I
cursing
do.
in.
I speak Infernal.
I thought you speak Abyssal.
I speak Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Druidic, and Infernal.
So you actually can understand what they're saying. What it's saying, it's basically saying, like, the plan's foiled. We gotta retreat.
I'm just doing barrel rolls on the floor. Once an alligator strikes and gets its teeth in you, they just spin. I don't know if you've ever seen a death roll. They're basically just trying to rip you to pieces. It's pretty wild if you ever get a chance to see it.
Incidentally, one of my favorite meals at a sushi restaurant that I go to is a death roll.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. 2, your turn passes by because you were surprised. Woosh, it is your turn. You see one of the imps in the gator's clutches, and the other 3 imps are invisible, so you can't see where they are.
How far apart were they from each other before they went invisible?
They're basically on opposite corners of the room. They were able to fly to the ceiling of the room and kind of spread apart.
He hates
So-
your AoEs, Laura.
Yeah, I know. Before we do anything else, I want to throw in another guess at what the orb is. Is it the persistent cocaine orb? Because I think it's going to be a hell of a party.
That's a great answer, but no.
Gang celebration.
Mhm.
I already said celebration.
Okay, fine. Can I do a thunder wave? The last place that I saw one of these imps, these invisible
Go ahead.
ones.
What saving throw do they have to do?
Constitution.
Persistent cough orb.
Mm. It rolls a 19 because it has advantage against spells.
Austin, persistent cough syrup orb.
Okay, 10 damage.
You did a D28 again.
I did another fucking D28. Let me roll my D28 sketch.
You always get 21 on it.
You really want that kind of die to exist.
The nice thing about Thunder Wave is that it does. Wow.
Fine, 1 damage.
It does take the 1 damage, but let's see here. It does have to do a concentration check for itself. So let's see if it succeeds at that. It does. So basically, you can kind of hear that it got pinged for damage, but it doesn't lose its concentration, and it still is invisible. But you can hear where it is. So.
Okay.
Austin just hears this like little voice from the corner of the room go, "Motherfucker!"
Yeah. Back to the top of the order. Johnny, it is your turn.
I'm gonna cast See Invisibility.
No fair hacks.
You know what now I'm going to point out something real quick here. Do you know what the material components of See Invisibility are?
A pinch of talc and a small sprinkling of powdered silver.
Yep, because you basically throw baby powder on everyone. That's how you see them. Anyways.
Yeah, but it's like self, isn't it?
No, I know, but I like to think of like you throw baby powder on someone that's invisible. Like,
Yeah, all right.
Gotcha. But anyways, so you cast See Invisibility on yourself. Perfect. Do you run out into the main room?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the other imps, and you can convey where they are. So,
And I'm gonna do that.
all right. You still have a bonus action. Do you want to give Bardic Inspiration to someone?
All right, I'm gonna Bardic Inspiration Gator, and I'm just gonna yell, "Sick 'em, girl!"
Imp's turn. The one that's being grappled by you is going to try to escape. What does it check for that?
Strength DC 12.
DC 12. What?
Try me, imp.
Oh, a natural 20.
Ooh, look at me, I'm an imp. I'm not gonna get torn to shreds in front of all my friends.
No, but it's going to try to fly away from you, which means you do get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, you're fucked, imp. You dumb bitch. I killed him. 21.
Okay, roll your damage.
9.
You do kill that bitch there. So, like, it just, like, you chomp it away as it tries to fly away from you. So that's 1 imp down.
I saw a video once of an alligator enclosure, maybe crocodile enclosure. There was like 5 gators / alligators just chilling in there. Nobody's doing anything. And then one just flipped out, grabbed the leg of another one next to him, and then did a 360 barrel roll and just ripped the arm off clean. And then they all just went back to chilling and nobody acknowledged it. They're the weirdest animals.
All right, the imps are next. So each of them are going to shift and make a sting attack as part of their turns. They're going to attack. The first one is going to attack Woosh because it was attacked by Woosh.
Me?
That will be a 16. Does that hit your?
Yeah, that hits my AC.
Okay. That will do 4 damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
13.
Very good. You take an additional 5 poison damage.
Mm-hmm. Does the fact it's poison damage mean anything?
Only if you have a particular immunity or sensitivity to poison damage.
Oh, I have advantage against poison?
You have you have resistance to poison, so you take 2 poison damage from it.
Oh, how many did you say before?
It was 5, so it's only 2.
I'll heal 3 of them back up.
Yeah. So, and actually, you have advantage on saving throws against poison, so you can actually. It doesn't matter you saved, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was thinking.
What Scoop sees is basically it shifts, and its head shifts into like a spider, and bites at you as if it's a spider. And then the other two do the same, but both of them are going to do it at the gator. So the first attack is a 10, which misses.
Suck my tail.
And the other one, crit fails.
Suck my tail.
It will, let me do real quick here. Since it attacks, they're both visible. You can use a reaction to attack it back if you want to, Austin.
8, a miss.
That does miss. It's not a critical miss, but it does indeed miss the attack on it. So there's a bunch of... They took a moment to go invisible, then they all swoop in, and only one of them got an attack off. It was on the worst person to hit. Now it is your turn, Austin, and you have 2 imps nearby.
I'm Death Incarnate. 20.
You attack one, you hit it. Go ahead and roll your damage.
10.
You kill it outright in one hit.
Jump! That's what we call a big gulp.
I just watched Jaws like a couple of weeks ago.
It's about me now.
Yep. And then at that point, it is Too's turn. You are able to get out into the room if you wish.
Are you going to try and find the persistent campaign orb? Because it gives us a campaign to go on.
I will tell you this. If you stay in the room, I'm going to give you a little something to work with.
Okay, hit me.
You can roll a history check with advantage. And you get to add double your proficiency. It's going to be a +7 to the roll. Because it is a history check related to magic items.
Do it, do it, do it.
Yeah. 15.
You notice one of the orbs in the Bardic row, and it is an orb with a bunch of what look to be mirrors scattering the outside of it in an array.
The persistent Christmas orb.
It's a glitter ball, isn't it?
What is it? You have to correct. What is a glitter ball? What is that?
Like a disco ball?
Yeah, disco ball.
Miracle.
Okay, so it is.
So the persistent cha-cha orb?
No. But you can also see that through whatever dim light there is in the room, that a myriad of colors are seen through the mirrors.
Color? Persistent color orb?
What's another word for color?
Chromatic.
Chromatic.
Yes. You two have stumbled upon the persistent chromatic orb, which is, as
I
you
got disco
inferred,
lights.
Laura. Yeah, what?
Yeah, it's a big disco ball.
It is a magical disco ball. Correct.
I once had love and it was a blast.
I got you, Johnny.
Very good. If you want to spend your action investigating it, I'll give you one more clue.
25.
Cool. As you place your hands on the orb, you are able to sort of intuit a little bit about how it might work. There is a keyword you have. There's a keyword you have to state to turn it on, and you said part. You all said part of that word, the part of that phrase earlier.
Celebration?
No, it's party something. Party.
Party on?
Close.
Party start.
Party rockin'.
This is simply party time. So if you declare that it's party time, the orb will turn on.
And you know what? It is party time.
If you say that, the orb lights up and it starts gleaming in bright light that kind of pours out of the room. Normally, you'd have to sort of shield your eyes to it, but you're prepared for it.
Have my goggles down.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem to do anything else quite yet. So you need to do one other thing for it to work properly. But you got it's a disco ball. It's a magic disco
Is it
ball.
the electric slide?
But what do you need to do in order to trigger the electric slide? We'll find out after it's Woosh's turn.
Oh, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there any of the imps that are in stabbing range?
The one that attacked you is in stabbing range.
Okay, I'm going to use the Professor Sword to stab that imp.
Go for it. You may make your attack roll with a +5.
Crit.
Very good. That would be 2d10 +3 damage.
Man, I wanted to eat all the imps. You get to kill one, and I can't go for my perfect score.
You can eat the one once it's stabbed.
Oh yeah, they're still edible.
14.
Go ahead and paint me a scene about how you take out this particular imp.
So I'm a bit frustrated. This thing is trying to bite me, and it didn't even have the courtesy for me to see it. So up on stilts, Woosh is gonna sort of take a running couple of steps and just almost like not quite throw, but almost throw Professor's sword into the imp. Just like really stretch out to get him, skewer them on that blade.
Yeah, Roger sort of like is almost whinging about it. It's like, don't overextend, and then you make perfect contact and slice the imp in half.
Like, I know that the sword, like, doesn't extend in any way, but I feel like the Professor's like, if I just, like, get a little bit further, I won't get so overextended.
Very good, but you kill that imp in one hit, which means that there's one left.
And, shake it off the sword so that it's, in eating range.
Mouth. Get it in the mouth.
Yep. All right, it is your turn, Scoops. There is one imp remaining and is right by the gator.
Right. But you know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
I'm going to take out my viol and start playing it.
What song do you play?
Electric Slide.
Is anyone in the party immune to charm?
I don't like that question at all. No.
No. I think so.
Everyone in range has to do, let's see here, a wisdom saving throw right now.
Even me?
No, because you're the one playing the instrument.
Right.
22.
Okay, very good.
Is this that Fortnite weapon where it makes you dance?
No, but yes.
Okay.
Okay, for me, that's 8.
D20 for me.
And 2, a wisdom saving throw.
10.
Everyone except for the gator and for Scoops are compelled to do the electric slide, as they're all inflicted with Otto's irresistible dance, which is what the orb does when music is played and party time has been activated.
I love the idea that this ensorcelled ball has got you all in its devil's dance, and the only person who isn't in it is just this gator who's just like, hell yes, my jam. Oh, fuck. I was dancing earlier, too.
Yeah. If you want to determine how good the performance is, Johnny, go ahead and roll a performance check.
Well, all right. Well, my performance is +4.
24.
I critted that. Oh, shit. I'm going platinum.
I only got 18 for my dance.
Well, no. The performance check was for Johnny's playing.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone's dancing is fantastic, but you are all compelled to dance, as basically between Toow and Scoops, the two bards in the party, you figured out. Actually, Toow, you actually have advantage on your roll, so go ahead and re-roll the wisdom check there from earlier. Or you could just take the 18 as your second roll there if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll take the 18.
Scoops pulls out his viol and begins playing the electric slide. Great selection, by the way. He plays it masterfully for someone who has skipped out on his classes for some of this stuff here. But
I'm just going to back him up on my
yeah.
tool belt.
Yeah, so the orb like pulses in time to the music, and everyone except for the other bard of the party and the gator are compelled to dance. So that basically means that the dwarf and the imp are compelled to dance the electric slide, which is a big problem for the imp because it's not going to be able to attack while it's dancing. And as a result, it passes by turn. And Gator, you have a dancing imp in front of you.
You mean I have a stylish snack?
You sure do.
Do I get advantage on this?
Yes, you have advantage on your attack against it.
Get dunked, bitch. 19.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah, 11.
That is enough to take it out. So you chomp. The imp is like doing a rather smooth move, and they just like chomp the whole thing in one go.
It just goes down whole.
Electric slide down my throat.
I know, I'm incorporating him into the dance, right? Because he's spinning through the air, I grab him, and then I start rolling as the big finale finish.
So, excellent. So combat is over, but the dance may still be continuing depending on how long Scoops plays.
I think Scoops finishes the song because he's just like this is the performance of his life.
It is. Oh yeah, because like it's sort of like, again, this, I as a DM, this happened perfectly because I wanted someone to trigger the dance component of the orb before the fight ended and force the imps to do a saving throw. But
Yeah. So he finishes the song and then stops.
very cool. And to your if you wanted to roll performance just to see how good your backup drumming has gone.
26 crit.
Oh God! Double crit on the performance.
Yeah. So yeah, like for two people who normally aren't, one is not allowed in the classes and one doesn't go to them. You string a performance that is so good, you might have actually won the auditions if you were auditioning for the party.
Yeah, now if you could just repeat that in front of an audience, you'll do great.
Skitch, you should join my band.
Yeah.
That sounds like an interesting idea. Come by the newspaper office and we'll chat.
Very good. Now the combat's over, do you all want to investigate the room that the door has been blown open in?
Sure, I will get some free weird discount scrolls from like the scroll bargain warehouse.
No, that's the other one. This is the PMT
Oh.
door.
Fine, what's the PMT?
So the room you enter is interesting. It sort of looks like a storage closet of like a bunch of types of adventuring gear, but it, like, to give you an idea, it's like there's like sort of a hazmat style suit that looks like it's well insulated for heat. There's like rebreather gear for like water and other such things. And through this, you find a little plaque in one area indicating this is the planar magical tools room.
Ooh.
So equipment used to travel to different planes safely.
Or the Pimter, for sure.
Yeah, the Pimpter, absolutely. If you want to investigate the room, you may feel free to do so.
All right. Roll an investigation. 12.
I'm outside eating the imp that
Go for it.
Woosh killed.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
18 to investigate.
2 in particular finds a note that is written and was left on the ground in the room. And the note is not in a language that you understand.
Anyone else able to read this?
Common, deep speech, or dwarvish?
No, it is none of those.
I'm going to wave it in front of the gator.
Elvish, halfling.
Neither of those.
Gator?
I speak Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Druidic, and Infernal.
Gee, I wonder if it's one of those.
It actually is. You have a good guess. So, if you present the note to the gator, even in your gatory form, eating on your third course of lunch, or fourth course maybe, you're able to read what the note says, basically. To shorthand it, the note is a set of instructions for basically a way to enter this pocket dimension in sort of a backdoor manner. And then some instructions for specific supplies to steal from the magical tools closet.
And it's signed Jeff.
It is not signed anyone. There's no one, that's no signature on it, but it's just written it's basically like a list of instructions of, here's how you get into the closet. Here's the things I need you to steal. Here are some assistants to help prevent intruders if anything goes wrong. Failure is not an option.
Considering that the note of how to get into the closet is in the closet, presumably whoever had the note telling them how to sneak into the closet succeeded. So I'm guessing the things on the list already got stolen?
Or the
Not
imps
necessarily.
were in
The
there trying to
imps
get
might
them?
have brought it with them.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to, you can. If the gator turns back to a teacher, they could relay what items were looked for on the list.
I don't know why I feel so difficult tonight. We only have 8 minutes left. Yeah, I think after I finish the fourth imp, I'll turn back and be like, all right, fine. I was having a delicious time, and you all have to ruin it with your book learning. Blah, blah, blah. The imps were pulling a heist. What did they steal? Did they steal anything?
If you relay the items in question, the items specifically aren't that important, but if you relay the items in question and you go into the closet to check, you'll find that those items had not actually been successfully stolen. Like, you could tell they had been pulled out from one of the shelves, and when they were, it was like one of them was like a helmet of sorts, and when it was pulled out from a shelf, the shelf fell over because they fucked up when they were trying to steal it.
Yeah. All right. It seems like we foiled an impasse. So I guess I'll take the letter back to the headmaster in case he can trace it back to whoever hired the imps. But they failed and I ate them, so victory.
Is there any running theme between what was attempted to be stolen?
It's hard to tell right now. Like, there's items that are useful for getting into certain planes, maybe, but the instructions did not specify what they were for. It was just sort of like a list of items. It is very possible that some of the items are sort of like false leads, and only one of the items on the list is actually meaningful, but it's hard to tell at this time.
Okay, so there's no insight we can glean into the situation from the list.
Not at this time, it seems. So it might take another session, some other time. Wink, wink, to unveil more about this.
Nudge, a continuing plot thread, you say?
Listen, okay, I may not have an extending 40-session season to go through here, but I gotta have something, damn it.
Hey, you can have a 40-session season just spread out over a while.
Over a few years.
Scoops declares, as much as I hate to say it, this list has to go to a higher authority.
It's a shame it wasn't the persistent condiment orb because they really could use some barbecue sauce.
Scoops takes out his notepad and asks Sephora, so what do imps taste like?
They're full of they burst with flavor. You ever had a gusher?
No.
It's kind of like, what if a gusher could scream and curse me?
Yeah, and we had to censor what they said for the tender ears of our fans. More so because it's not horny at all, so there's no point in relaying it to the fans.
They're not into war. They're not going, eat me, crocodile daddy.
So please, someone be horny about getting eaten by Sephora, please.
Oh, eat me, gator daddy.
Listen, we know the rules of the internet. We know they exist. Anyways.
Bite me, mommy.
So, is there anything else that you do before you gather the chromatic orb and return back to the headmaster's office?
Part of me is tempted to say that Woosh just grabs 3 random orbs to go, yep, these coming with me.
I'm your teacher, put the orbs back.
Yeah, Roger, both Roger and Sephora like you're not authorized to take those. I would suggest leaving them where they are.
Okay, most of them are put back. One of them just gets slipped in the fog.
You're gonna have to roll a sleight of hands check.
Gets slipped in the. Okay, I'm gonna sleight of hand to try and sneak one away in the. I don't have great sleight of hand. So which one out in the fog beard?
So what's your character's personality? Well, I love the wind and I steal orbs.
6.
Detention, big detention.
And unfortunately for you, Jay's is a complete narc and rolls a 19 on their perception and just sort of points out the orb.
Okay, Woosh just sighs and puts it back.
JJJ is completely a narc. I'm sorry, folks, but he is.
All cops are bad.
That weasel is a real weasel.
More bad cops, fine.
Listen, you might be able to get authorization. You did one of the schools a solid. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but you got to get authorization is all.
I don't even know what it is. I just kind of want it.
Also, having an illegal orb is half the fun. A legal orb, who gives a shit?
I don't want to get the orb because then they'll tell me what the orb is. I just want to take an orb and sit and guess acronyms for a bit.
Yeah, that was the best part of the episode.
That's why I designed the acronym puzzle the way I did. So thank you all for indulging me there.
For all I know, I could get the persistent. I don't know. I don't even know. That's
you didn't
the
have
point.
anything. It's the persistent crocodile orb is what it should have been.
The persistent chiffonade orb. Yeah.
The coke orb.
Chiffonade.
Yeah. Where's my persistent coke orb?
Scoops is going to collect the remnants of the shattered door and kind of put it in a pile next to the doorway and then scribble in his notebook and tear out a sheet and lay a note on top that just says, "Sorry, Scoops."
I do have mending. I think I could do one piece at a time, as long as they're not larger than a foot.
You could, but we don't have to worry about that. You at least apologized for it, which is nice.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let Sparkles know when we go outside.
Oh yeah, the Sparkle's the best character.
We're going to hand wave past Sparkles because we've already know that they're the best. We don't need to elaborate it further. So
yeah, I'm just gonna let him know, and then on our way.
As like he'll like if you say, do you say anything about like what happened to there to Sparkles? By the way,
Yeah.
you do that, Sparkles will be like, this is supposed to be the only way in.
It's a mystery to me too, Sparkles, but don't worry. We're going to let the right people know.
Okay, then.
The imps were employed by some kind of greater scope villain for the arc as a whole. Don't worry your head about it, Sparkles.
That sounds like a very meta comment to make.
We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know if you're allowed to make that. There's Sephora.
Try to stop me, Sparkles.
It's fine. We heard about it from the persistent conspiracy orb.
The perfect conspiracy orb. No, the
Or
perfect
did
conspiracy
we?
orb. Yeah. Anyways, relaying back to the headmaster's office. As you enter, you see Orin just like he's at his desk and he's just sort of like face planted already on the desk with a very deep sigh, looking very tired.
How'd the illusion investigation go, boss?
It turned out that they were both It turned out that they were both illusions, so we're still looking for the student in question.
That's a pretty good punchline, I'll give you that.
Like I said earlier, an illusion student tricking people? Quelle surprise.
Listen, I have to commend their moxie, but bylaws dictate that I have to investigate further.
Well, we got your perpetual crumb cake orb, so I'm gonna go to bed now.
I don't even know why I'm on this adventure, so, am I done?
Your character is kind of a jag.
Shardpoint is like the monster squad of the D&D universe, so...
I'm just going to whisper party time and start drumming away on my...
Fortunately, Orin does succeed at his saving throw against it, and he's going to use his last instance of portent to make eeny, meeny, miny, whoosh intentionally fail this check.
It's the last scene of this where we bring the orb back and fucking Toow Bifor turns it on and then Orin just watches us all dance uncontrollably and while just like staring into the middle distance.
I should have played safety dance.
You still have a chance.
You can dance
Today I'm playing pop punk.
You can dance if you want to. You don't really have a choice.
I said you have a chance if you want to.
No, I mean, Scoops is not that much of a mischief maker. He likes to keep his sources on his side, and he knows that he's kind of got an in with weight.
That's okay, but you still have to make a wisdom saving throw then, and so do you, Sephora.
Your friends must dance, and if they don't dance, then they have high wisdom.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yep.
Ooh.
9, I failed.
Oh, wait. I get to roll again, because that's a...
You are. Yep. You both fail. With a 9 and 11, and with the 7 that was imposed onto, on Woosh because Orin is an asshole and a divination wizard.
So he just watches us all dance uncontrollably as the credits music starts. Lauren is spicy this week.
Am I spicy this week?
You just sent me a message that says, "Hey bitch, you up?" Which I guess means it's credit time.
Credits Prison 2, Electric Boogaloo.
All right, so everyone knows the music credits are in the description as well as all the Patreons. Patreon.com/AustinYorski. That's how you get on the list we're going to read. You're at Rargalicious everywhere.
Buy my teddy pics. I'm poor.
That too. Patreon.com/LauraKBuzz for Laura. Patreon.com/Weekly Manga Recap. That's Chris. And Patreon.
Please help him.
Please help the boy. Patreon.com/ofhorse. That's Conrad. Everyone's stuff is clickable in the description. What is also called? The show notes is another term for it. The show notes is where you can find all the information you crave. It's time to read names, Lauren.
Oh, Bozog blew my cover 7, going to heaven to kill or seduce Evan.
A werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand.
He knows how to live that life.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Norgard.
Aaron, conduit of Tuska. Nope, pronounced Tuska.
Or is it Tuska?
Tuska. I love when people include pronunciations, but only after I've already fucked it up. Thank you.
Abigail Grace.
Adrian Y.
Aftershock, conduit of sacrilegiousness.
So, that's a good word, sacrilegiousness.
It is.
Agent Hedgepiggle. That's a good name.
Aki Savalainen.
Albert West.
Aaliyah.
Alex Vepra.
Allison the Purple. Is Moose a plant?
Eventually, we're going to narrow it down to the last 2 organisms in the universe.
Well, see, my problem is that my brain is full of mush, and I will forget all the things that Moose has already been declared not to be.
We have brain problems. An otter playing patty cakes with you.
My God. Andrew Birmingham.
Andrew Faget, conduit of making Dice Funk canon in BreadTube itself. All right, do I got to search it? Is everybody going to have a link for me? Or okay.
I would really like to know more about BreadTube.
That's a name for leftist YouTube.
Oh, I really wanted it to be a tube of bread.
Yeah, okay.
I love bread. Andrew Grothin.
Andrew R.
Andy Harkins.
Anna,
conduit of procrastination.
Anthony, patron of Dora.
Antonio, conduit of snacks. Also me.
Arachnivolt, keeper of the credit prison.
Arcanist of... pronounced Julia?
We're really dumb. Please help us.
Arja Limited.
Oh, I'm doing another one.
Conduit of everyone buy Laura's book Uncomfortable Labels. Do it.
If you're going to use our credits to help the other people on the show sell their stuff, that's what we call a win-win in the industry.
Exactly.
Arjun de Koning.
Arthur North.
Ash, defender of Lauren and lover of women.
Oh shit, I got bodyguard. Aubrey Hunter.
You have your king's guard. It follows you everywhere to go to protect the titties.
They're very powerful titties.
Austin Korgsky, conduit of Best Boy itself.
Austin!
Ow.
You guys are awesome. Isaac. Gavel. Conduit of gavel, gavel, gavel.
Did we do Aubrey Hunter or did I miss it?
That's a great question. Aubrey Hunter, just in case.
Just in case. Hey, Jade's near the top of the list now. Someday I'm going to figure out how to make Patreon do it by something else besides alphabetical. I've tried. It just won't do it. Also, it deleted my draft this week for the new episode. I had to retype it.
Well, that's rude.
Patreon, fuck off.
Backwards of Conduit Sparkle.
Be like Lauren's bra and support her titties.
I agree. Beef Swellington, conduit of meat.
Also be like Lauren's bra and stab her mercilessly.
Oh, no, don't wear underwire anymore. Underwire can suck my dick.
BJ, conduit of miniature giant space hamsters.
B-Ray Echo.
Before we continue, I gotta say, I got tiny nips.
Blue 6.
Boness.
Brady, conduit of successful murder. Finally, no.
Is this one of the plausible deniability things? Oh no, please come back.
Oh, please stop. No, don't.
Brent, still every episode of Dice Funk Goatly. Thank you, Brent. Thank you.
Callum, more importantly, how is Moose? Moose. Parentheses and in parentheses Turner.
Everyone asks who is Moose. No one asks how is Moose. Why is Moose?
Oh shit!
Callum Turner has terrible memes. Be gone, knave.
Oh no, more fights in the credits. Cameron Abbas.
Candace, listen to Dice Funk Starling.
Caradwen, conduit of crushing on Austin in a respectful, non-horny way.
That's the only way. Charlie, thwart me, daddy. Chocolate.
Chris, conduit of bad decisions walling.
Hold on, let me get another run at that one. Charlie, thwart me, daddy. Chocolate. How's that? Is that better? I think people want the daddy voice. Christ, man, conduit of judging your weak ass sins.
All of my sins are extremely dope.
Christopher Charlow.
Coho Blast.
Conduit of Halfthor, Grunderson, first of his name, bringer of Run Out of Space.
Cosmignon says Ragtime the kitten says hi. That is an amazing name for a kitten.
I saw the kitten on the social medias.
I do love the social medias.
That's where the kittens are.
Counterfeit. Sierra Saldana,
Oh,
prophet of RNGesus.
you just want to do it this week?
Well, I just know how to pronounce that name.
You got excited. Q, I appreciate you. Yes, you, Cumber.
DL. I do like to keep things on the DL.
Dandy Snuff.
Daniel.
Daria, go right. Oh, it's like a order. Daria, go right.
Dawning Frost.
Deathworm, conduit of good pets.
I feel like Jessworm and the word good
Mm-hmm.
next to each other is not. No.
Maybe it's the deathworm is the species and it's a good boy.
Okay. Decibel.
Dennis Pancake Detlefson.
DM Tao. Now I have to deal with player shenanigans.
Oops. It's like killer whales. They're called killer whales, but they can be good.
They really like to murder.
Yeah, we watched that documentary when they were very rude to that seal. Don Johnston.
Dorian, Conduit of Devotion.
Dr. Goatman.
Dr. Isix.
Dragon in the server room.
You do it.
Drod Naluk, Professor of Curses and Magical Maladies at Shardpoint Academy. Someone's trying to get on the NPC list. Don't tell Skitch.
I feel like I ask this literally every single month.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Dylan and Rillin, the dog, listening on a lazy Sunday morning? Also dishes.
It could be Dylan and Rillin. It could be Dylon and Rylon.
Or Dylan and Rylon. You never know.
It's a mystery.
Dylan, Conduit of Bigger Skeleton Booty.
Ebrand, Kinky Asgardian Ass Claps.
INRJ.
Ecord.
Elder Dog.
I like an elder dog. They're very chill.
Yeah.
Elderly Goose, here for the Dice Funk cinematic universe.
Eleanor, no, not Dicey's Periton, a horned vampire lady with depression.
Also you.
That's a big mood.
Elaine!
Elizabeth Jackalope.
Emma Morant.
Emma, High Priestess of the Mystery Moose.
It has a following now. It's almost a religion. It's a cult now.
Did we say bird yet?
I can't recall.
Bird, and when I say bird, I mean any possible kind of birds that you have to tell us.
Oh, so we can just do really wide guesses, right? We should be like vertebrae.
Yeah. Also, bugs, maybe?
Indigo Van Dane.
Erwan the Logadek.
Ethan Lawrence.
Exteluris.
Fabian Got That Dank.
Fire and Brimstone, Redeemer of Stone, Conqueror of Mountains.
That'd be great if they sprinkled it throughout the credits. Florian H.
Francois Arsenal.
Francois V.
Frank Sands, Listen to Continue podcast in Dice Funk.
That's my show.
Gabe, I named my Roomba Steve Dave Albacaris.
Good Dog, Conduit of Scritches.
Grapefruit Juice.
Graffiti? Graffiti. Yeah.
Graffiti.
Graffiti is spelled differently. Conduit of Rhetorical Questions.
Guinevere Cummings.
God damn it, again. Halfthor Grunderson, first of his name, born of fire and brimstone, redeemer of...
Harbinger of Glory, the forerunner of Retribution, the firm of
I
Frost.
didn't even notice as the next line. Fuck. Harley Astor.
Harrison Andrew.
Harry, King Badass. No, King Great Ass.
Hedron Master.
How do I make friends? Regards, Conduit of Social Faux Pas.
Ingmar Grimon.
Ink Drop the Ooze, Inducer of Oosmosis. Careful, it's contagious.
Isaac, Conduit of Tux the Penguin. Are we talking about fucking... I know that's Tex. There's a penguin in Animal Crossing named Tex, just so everybody knows.
Jaden, Smith, one assumes.
James Neely.
Jamie, the pink-haired massacre is coming for you, Aust. Oh, God. No. Okay.
Janiac, Conduit of giving Austin a month off from the credit abuse.
And I'm feeling very domed right now. Everyone's coming directly for me.
Jaspel, back to school.
Jay Logan, Conduit of Queerness itself.
Jayish Wizard, the Wizard J.
Jealous Goddess Cosplay.
Jen.
Jenny Colby.
Jerry, new campus openings are super stressful. Flowers.
I feel like everything's stressful. I don't do anything in my day where I'm not like, oh, this is going to be an ordeal.
Honestly, going to bed is stressful even, so.
Because you got to worry about when you have to wake up and how much sleep you're going to get.
And then my brain is like, hey, you're not going to sleep now.
I know, it sucks. Anyway, Jess Fege.
Joanna the Wrench Witch.
John Madera will be a polar bear in the next Bloody Roar. Hell yeah, that's a good Bloody Roar, Zoanthrope.
John Potts.
John Barnett, conduit of pillows.
John, hook me up with some pillows. Johnny Tips.
Joseph Timbrello.
Josie, Vengeance Paladin of Sun Dragons.
You know what? There is a case to be made there. There needs to be some vengeance.
No.
No? You still stand behind that decision?
Yeah. Jew-Man Jack Off, conduit of Yeetin' the Skeet.
Okay, I feel like we're just going to gloss right over that one. Yeetin' the skeet is something you definitely would say. What are you doing? I'm just yeeting the skeet.
Julian Phillips, conduit of Kaizen.
Just a jester.
Justin, conduit of Dice Funk Season 6, God Killing Round 2 on purpose this time.
I mean, who knows? Jorgen Indiewick. Oh, fucking hell. Jorgen Indie Monster Winewick Ford, conduit of name butchering.
Caster UK.
Kate, conduit of semi-regular regret. Keith Showman. Chomine.
Kelladry. Queer bi polyam cuddle slut, conduit of HRT-induced sore tits.
I'm glad you read that one because I thought it was Soretits.
Excuse me?
Keller Automat. I'm just bad at English today.
Ken, conduit of finally writing this goddamn PhD dissertation.
Ken Torai. Fuck me.
Kentoroi.
Kentoroi. Ikitagamasu.
No.
Kevin Dobbins. Do it.
Kevin Dobbins.
Killer Cotton Shizno.
Kitty Folk, conduit of guessing plot points.
Currito Prime, supporting 2 Patreons in this economy? Question mark.
Christina, conduit of Nifix, becoming all the dinosaurs itself. I vote Leopleurodon.
What's that?
Google it, it's very big.
Okay, thanks. Carterion, Kato is Elias from Magus Bride. He's not, but I know what you mean.
Crystal, who thinks Season 5 was a cover-up paid for by Big Mothman TM.
The truth is out there.
Kyle Badsvik.
Kyle, president of the Drop Goodwood fan club.
Lana Seawolf, Lady of Bones.
No, Lana Seawolf.
God damn it. Lana Seawolf, Lady of Bones.
Lawrence Duckling.
It's technically my mom's, and also full-grown duck. But let's talk about snacks, baby. Let's talk about... Hold on.
Yeah, do the song.
Let's talk about snacks, baby. I'm talking about you, auntie. That's really good.
You kind of faded out at the end there, though.
Fine, I'll do it really loud now.
Yeah, get with confidence.
Let's talk about snacks, baby. Let's talk about you, auntie.
Liam Sutton.
Liam the ghost cat will use ectoplasmic power to make the slime season.
Yeah, the audience wouldn't know when we recorded this, but I gave them, you know now because you just listened to the episode, I gave them a slime arc option, and they declined it, and they wanted to go to Spider House, so I tried to give them slime. They didn't want it.
Loki making donuts in homage of all-powerful moose.
The cold is spreading. Ludovico Limited.
Luke Powers.
Lulu Skidoo.
Luther the conduit of, oh god, the pet burbs are revolting.
They're always revolting and molting. M-Joe.
The Cult of Gorfanax.
Matt Collier.
Matt Lackus won all Triceratops all day. Dino season, best season.
Everyone loves the dinosaur. She should have just been a druid. Why is she even a bard at all?
How dare you criticize?
Matthew B. Hare.
Matthew Schultz.
Maximum Psy Boob 6. How Psy Boob got his groove back.
I'm rooting for him. Majin, conduit of drowning sorrows and other people's cats.
God,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that sentence turned out one way because I thought I was going to go a different way for a second there.
No!
Mel Bent.
Melissa the Dice Goblin.
I really like the way you said goblin.
Goblin?
Tis I, the Dice Goblin.
Oh, now we're just Skeksis. Gelfling.
It does happen. Michael Groman.
Michael Hall.
Michelle Minkler, conduit of Brotkled Bleeped I'm summoning. This is the Necronomicon.
Bratkleid bleeped Brakleid und Brakraut.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't think I said any of that right.
Yeah, and I know it's Mikel. Because I messed it up and they sent me a message like, wow, you're very stupid and can't talk words. And I'm aware. I know.
Midlife stasis.
Mike draws you on a horse.
Thanks, Mike. Miko from Finland.
I want to open a business. It's just I draw you on a horse. That's all we do. You come in, we draw you on a horse. Miles and Rose, conduits of yin and yang.
Modified Matthew.
Morgan Rapp.
Mr. Witty Phoenix Stephen Lesbian Seagull Pooh Bear Shaker.
What was that accent?
I don't know.
My personal favorite patron. Fuck, they got us. My personal favorite patron, Matt Luce.
My Valentine is postmodern artist Cy Twombly.
Namita Aneskins, conduit of Natural 2 itself.
Nathaniel Homan.
Nico, conduit of I'm Baby. I'm Baby.
I'm Baby. Nicholas Dominic.
Chris won't let me do the baby voice anymore because it turns him on too much.
Nicole Woodruff.
No response at all. Damn, I thought I got
Nina
something.
Person.
Nina Person.
No. Gods, no heroes, just a man.
One day I will be a real boy. It's overrated, honestly.
Paye Rabjerg.
Pangolin can't believe you're letting Lauren craft items. I think it's gonna be we're all dead.
Paul Mullen.
Please call me Ashley. Yes, just Ashley.
Please shovel some poutine into my face holes.
It's big same, actually. Pocket Sundial.
Preston Bowers.
Pro Wrestling Mothman, Jermaine Walls, conduit of Cryptid Grappling. Damn, that'd be a really good crossover. The wrestling art from season 4 with Mothman from season 5.
Professor Archibald H. Cactus Esquire, conduit of ungulate theology.
Pruitt Holcomb.
Puck, oh no. Conduit of large ambitions but poor follow through.
Random, conduit of Would You Like a Hug?
Please. Razumi Yazera.
Remsiv.
Rob Dakin, conduit of delay.
Robert
Chisholm.
Robert E. Calf Baker, only 2 seasons until the sex season. I've written a lot of checks that I'm not going to be able to cash. I keep saying to different seasons are going to be
Future Austin will pay for this.
Yeah.
Robert Toothill.
Rowlett uses roundness. It's super effective.
S. Kearney, Shardpoint Professor of Jargonology.
I bet that's a really sought after job. That's like one of the most.
That's like the coolest job. It's like working at NASA.
Mm-hmm. Salad Child.
Sam Stanowitz.
Sean Lyons Burke.
Sean, the host of Funk Dunk Plays.
Simmons, conduit of Harder Slatty. I'm guy to the voice.
You gotta.
Harder Slatty.
I hate it. I know you're contractually obligated, but I hate it. Shane Sedgwick.
Shane Ware. Check out Embalmed Apple to support a new creator.
Sin Milk Tom.
I do need to get jerseys made. This is Sin Milk Tom,
Sin
number
Milk
69. Sir Octopus, conduit of fun at parties.
Sir Octopus, conduit of chivalrous cephalopods.
They had the battle for supremacy. Slime King Mike, conduit of tasty Hollyfant. I didn't read ahead. Conduit of tasty Hollyfant dad bods. Is that everybody horny for Lancelot? Is that what's happening?
I guess. Snake emotions. Snemotions. Like snappiness or sadness.
Snakes only have one emotion, which is long.
Socialism is party cohesion plus Soviet power.
Squidcap, conduit of shipping Blake and King. Also known as Bling, is their ship name.
Starlight Glimmer did nothing wrong.
Starlight Glimmer did things wrong, but has learned from her mistakes. Thank you for trolling other names in our credits.
Stefan Lund. I love you, Stefan. I'm sorry. Also a Danish shape-shifting raven who eats pizza.
I bet ravens like pizza, right? It's just flavor.
Everything likes pizza.
Yeah. Sternod, conduit of consonants.
Summertime is Peebus time.
Peebus, Peebus, Peebus.
Summer yam and the living's easy.
Oh, everyone is going to realize the power to make you sing if they do enough of these. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? That's just one of the names.
Sydney Marsing.
We'll do the next. We'll do all the rest of them in Eurythmics voice. Cyretha, asexual and loving it.
We lost the plot. I'm done. Tales of Inquiry.
Teraflops, but Terra like a name. Teraflops.
Tentaclost and Futon Yorski.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
He's so offended.
The cast of Dungeons the Gathering.
The current temperatures in Arizona is 100 and fuck you degrees. Same, but also it's very wet here.
Yeah, it's a couple degrees below Arizona, but many more humidity. The murderous mongoose who's secretly standing directly behind you. God, thank you. Take me, mongoose.
I welcome the sweet release of death.
Mongoose death specifically.
The notorious boy got a job. I'm proud of you.
Congratulations on capitalism.
The precursor.
God damn it. The titanium-headed, the heavy-handed friend of centaurs. The whole thing's in here. Good job.
Tim Lutton.
Toby Gleason Stack.
Tom Bowers.
Toshiro Kuru, conduit of never living up to my own impossible goals. Good news for you. We're all gonna die someday. So, in a way.
Chase Marsing.
Just no interest in this. Transient passerby.
Trevor, conduit of stressful happiness.
Shay, looking forward to season 7, Octopus Traveler-ness. That's a good pun that only people who play obscure 3DS RPGs will understand, but I appreciated it.
Vigar Arnston.
Victoria Melito, conduit of quietness.
Victoria Valentine.
Vincent.
Vinny, conduit of vaping that ass.
Vaping that ass? What does that mean?
I don't know, but I had to say it like that.
Okay. Violet Skittles Unicorn, if it helps. I'm a unicorn. You're welcome. God damn it.
Zephosaurus.
Yeah, I got bitches on my dick, and I even got a dick. That has to be a lyric.
Yes, I did multiple accounts and pledges just for the joke. Lauren Cates.
Just coming back to the scene of the crime. Lauren Cates fucking showing up with all the detectives like, yeah, quite a crime that was committed here. Thanks. Z23619.
Zoltar, the Viking Death Metter. Metal Caterpillar, conduit of retribution. See, I could say it right in a clean take, but isn't it funnier if I sound like an idiot?
It's also easier in editing. And finally, Z. Corum overslept, and now he's at the end of this month's credits. It's very cute.
That was pretty cute.
Yeah, I just picture with like the little the snot bubble, you know. Wee. Ooh.
You know what else is cute?
Cats
giving us money.
Oh, okay. You went in a different direction.
Pay for Austin. Pay for Laura. Pay for Conrad. Pay for Chris. I guess me.
Yep, you can do that, or you can just subscribe and comment and rate or whatever. iTunes. It's not even iTunes anymore.
Tell your friends.
Apple Podcasts is what it's called now. Google Play, Podbean, YouTube. Just engage with the brand and the content, you know?
I will also never say no to animal pictures.
Not legal tender, but it is emotionally important.
Please, that sweet, sweet dopamine.